psychedelic check on the record album have their own influence.
This is a special question. We don't want you to smoke genetically modified ganja. We want you to smoke the real thing. We want you to smoke the natural herb. Some call it marijuana, some call it sensimilla, some call it lamb's bread, and some people call it...
What the hell? We are live. Welcome to another edition of the Adam Dunn Show. I am your host, Adam Dunn.
And I'm your co-host, Mitch Shinasa.
And we are joined at the Adam Dunn Show studio, a.k.a. the So High Studios, a.k.a. we don't even know what the fuck the name of this place is yet, do we?
No. Because it's not painted on the floor yet.
Haven't named it yet. We have in studio.
I thought it was So High Studios.
Every week we come up with a new name.
Do we?
Kinda. Sometimes it's So High. Sometimes it's ADS. Sometimes it's Mitch's basement, but who knows?
No. This is my basement sometimes?
Well, it used to be. This looks like your old basement.
It does. No, it was never this nice brick.
Without the tent, though.
We have Max Maltros in studio.
In the studio.
Hey, everybody.
And we have the back of KTI's head in the studio, live.
No. Says that back of the head.
Back of the head.
You should wear a mask on your head backwards when you're in that seat, right?
Well, I got eyes back there.
Yeah.
So what are we doing? Like a big terpy show or something?
Yeah,
or
Max is the terp whisperer, so what are you going to... You got 50 jars and he's going to tell you what strains
every
they
single
are?
one perfectly. It's going to be like fucking precision. Military precision. No, I don't. That's just an extra bonus. If
That's just a party trick that he does sometimes?
Party trick bonus deal. If you say Durban every time, you're almost right. And if you say Durban in Colorado or Flow, you're pretty much 98% of the time right.
Yeah,
that's pretty much. Durban? How did you know? But we're going to check out your terp wheel and all your gadgets.
So do you guys know that we just judged the Trichome Institute was contracted to judge the entire Dope Cup.
Did they pay you money?
Yes.
He got paid to judge a cup.
Come on now.
Because you should get paid to smoke some of that stuff. Go on.
I'm not going to talk about that part, but yeah, we actually flew the whole office out and we made an Airbnb into a mobile tag lab. And so
how'd you get the Airbnb mobile? That's crazy.
Well, we put it on wheels and we were grading weed, rolling around all over Oregon with a big plume of smoke coming out the back. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. This was the first cannabis cup ever to implement a cannabis quality certification and aspect to the judging process in conjunction with chemotyping, with lab tests.
Talk more. Obviously, we know about chemotyping. Talk to us more about the cannabis quality certification.
Cool. So check this out. Currently in the world of cannabis, we have 3 types of lab testing: genotyping, chemotyping, and phenotyping. And none of these types of lab tests equate to quality. And so if you made an entire cannabis cup based solely on chemotyping,
there is one.
Which
They're not actually called cannabis cups, though.
Can't say that.
Neither is
the
dopes.
grow off.
You'll get sued.
Yeah, no. All of these events
The
are called
dope cup.
cannabis competitions because you'll get sued if you call them cannabis cups as a class.
Yeah. Okay. Well, these cannabis competitions.
There you go.
The Dope Cup, the THC Championships, the Grow Off, things like that. Yeah, so the thing is imagine if you did use lab testing to solely judge the flower.
It would be a bad idea.
Well, the point is the whole industry and many smokers believe that high THC automatically wins. When the truth is you could have the most potent THC with the most diverse terpene profile with the most disgusting weed there is. It could be entirely unflushed. It could be packed full of spider mites, webs, eggs, fecal matter, and
How much poop is on weed?
Dude, we found a ton of poop on weed in
Talk
Oregon.
more.
We have
let's
pictures.
talk about your weed poop later. Finish talking. I don't want to pull you off topic.
The thing that fascinates me about spider mite shit is how.
Oh, spider mite poop.
Dude, it's really big.
Not
poop.
like human poop.
No, I thought like growers are just
like
oh,
pink
damn.
eye poop. Do you think they just wipe their
with their
butthole with a
hands.
nug?
They wipe with their hands.
Wipe
and
with
then
the
they
nug,
trim.
and then they.
Don't give all the secrets, bro.
Where do you think the true medical marijuana comes from? So yeah, we what we do is we designed a weed grading calculator that weighs objective, measurable scientific factors that equate to what quality is,
Such as?
trichome ripeness and trichome health. Sometimes you can look at a sample of cannabis under the microscope, and from the naked eye, it looks like it's covered in trichomes, and it is, but the glandular heads that hold the cannabinoids, terpenes, and flavonoids are completely missing. And we're not talking about missing from handling or breaking off. We're
Never
talking
got there.
Exactly. It didn't even get there. The genetics were so poor. And so when you smoke this flower, do you get high? Yeah, a little bit. But in terms of overall measurable quality, there is a standard operating procedure for trichome density, trichome ripeness, and overall trichome health, as well as a few other factors. So we have a visual factor, we have an olfactory factor, and we have a consumption factor. We just released online, probably 30 minutes ago, our YouTube video about
How well timed.
this
30 minutes.
this process. So if you YouTube world's first legitimate cannabis cup or first legitimate cup,
They're getting sued out the gate, man. You guys are going down. You said the cup. You said a
shit,
cup
is it
word?
really is it,
You
Yes.
will get sued if you
Is it-
use
it's-
the phrase cannabis,
Cannabis
cup.
cup.
so that's trademarked? Is that
You
that's a
better
high times
fucking
Those two
trademark?
things,
Yes, sir.
yeah, those two things together, the words cannabis and cup.
That's a high times thing.
Uh-huh. That's the first thing I learned when I was 20
When you-
something years old, and we did our first cup, and we were like, "What do you mean we can't use the word cannabis cup?" And they were like, "Yeah, whoa, we get to take it everything you got."
Wow, that's really good to know. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Appreciate it.
Go get sued.
Yeah, thanks.
But
Yeah.
besides all that, the first cannabis competition, you can change that right now. You got
Yep.
30 minutes to do it. Quick,
Go
change
ahead.
it.
It's only been up there for 30 minutes.
They'll never catch you now.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I mean, I can, if you guys want to see what some of these lab reports look like, I can show you.
Yeah, we want you to teach us how to interpene too, though.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
So, Mitch, since we didn't do the how's your week?
How's your week?
How was your week?
Well, I'm asking you first.
I mean, the week's been great just because this fucking weather is just off the chart.
Yo,
Like right
great
now, you
week.
can't be upset in Colorado right now with perfect. We got like San Diego weather for days. It's crazy.
My week was cool because we're doing a really cool event at SoHi.
That's true.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah, when we have more dead time. Now we're back.
Oh, okay.
Back with Mr. Montrose. No more dead
Okay.
time.
Thanks, Mr. Dunn.
Mr. Montrose.
Mitch, where's your book at, dude? Do you have one here?
I probably have one in my car or my bag.
Okay, because I'd still like one of those.
You don't have one?
No.
It's probably redundant now because it covers very much a lot of what you're going on. But
All right, well, cool. All right, so what do you guys want to see first? You want to see some interpreting stuff or you want to see some tag stuff?
what does TAG stand for?
Well, tag stands for Trichome Assurance Grading. Do you want to go through a little bit of this process?
Sure.
Okay. So the thing that we start out with when it comes to like illegitimate cannabis cups or illegitimate cannabis grading is
Cannabis events.
You can swear, you can smoke, but you just can't say cup, right?
that is so fucked up, dude. Oh man. God, I'm gonna have to really get that in my system.
You have that written in your little deck there? You're fucked. You have it in print.
It's not
It's in
even
print.
the
If it's in
deck.
print,
It's
you're-
Just
not-
start
it's
putting
not
money
even
on the
in
table.
print.
They'll come by.
So the first thing that we start out with is like, who the hell is doing the judging?
Sure, randos.
Well, or the paid public,
Oh, sure.
or people who don't know
But
what
no one
a
who's
trichome
no one
is,
who's
or-
like qualified like an official in a sport would be or anything of that nature.
Correct. And so within our interpreting program, which is the Cannabis Sommelier program, we have 4 different levels of cannabis expertise and certification. And level 2, 3, and 4, you have to test for in person and currently in Colorado.
Do you offer honorary degrees?
You know, if Snoop or maybe Willie or no, Adam, he doesn't get an honorary degree. No, I want to see this motherfucker pass.
Snoop knows less about weed than Adam Dunn.
It's true, but the thing about honorary degrees is they're always going to people who don't know what the fuck they're talking
That's
about.
true.
In that
That's
degree.
true. You're not
it's not like
qualified
it's
to
not
be- yeah.
qualified.
Like
That's
Jack
what-
Black has an
it's
honorary
like-
degree in history. Like-
Exactly. That's why that would work. That
Fair
way.
enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. So the thing is you have to start out with people who actually know what they're talking about, and so we have a platform for certifying people who understand this stuff. And so what we did is we built a calculator that grades these visual, objective, measurable characteristics. And for those of you who can't see this, if you go to trichomeinstitute.com, under interpreting, you can look at tag and see some of the stuff that I'm showing the guys here. But we have an olfactory SOP and we have a consumption SOP. And at the end of the day, what we do is we plug in numeric values into our weed grading calculator that grades the visual, olfactory, and the consumption on 3 different mathematical levels. It basically grades this section, and this section independently, and then these 3 sections are weighted and graded based on the value of what's important from a scientific perspective.
And how do you weight that in your system?
Well,
like, what's the most important?
The most important is trichome ripeness and trichome health, like bar none. But it gets nitty gritty and it gets a little bit more entailed. But at the end of the day, you know, when someone smells the degree of a flush and they give it a numeric value to be equated by in this calculator system, that's still a subjective input. What we do is we're the first company to apply inter-rater reliability, which is a double-blind standard, which means 2 people independently grade the same flower on the same SOP, and once the calculation is done, come up with the same numeric value. And that's essentially what we do, and that's what we did for the Cannabis Cup in Oregon, for every single flower.
Now, when you do that, like, I've always been curious, right? When you develop a system and you have my little spreadsheet, you know, same sort of principle. And once I, like, really trained someone and they hit the numbers pretty close to what I hit.
Right.
Do you find that there's a lot of, like, once someone is trained and sort of the expectations are calibrated, that you have a lot of kind of closely grouped answers, like with Olympics judges or boxing judges or whatever?
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is we have a degree of margin of error. So, you know, if you get outside of 5 points, outside of the 100-point scale, you miss the mark. There's obviously like 2 people didn't agree on the same score. And so what we do is we talk about it and we say, okay, why did you think this deserved this number or that number? And then we analyze the SOP together, and then we come up with the number that makes the most sense. And then the thing is as a group and as a team of people who have been doing this, we're really fucking good at this. And so what that means is you can take a piece of cannabis flower and put me in one room and put someone else in another room with the same flower.
And they should get the same result.
And we get the same result. And what that is this is the objective, measurable quality factors of cannabis that goes outside of the chemotype, the genotype, or the phenotype.
And now one thing that we also came into, because when we did our ADSI, we tried to use, for example, a weighted grading scale, much like that, right? And we got into it where people were saying, well, I know, I like this one better. I like this one better. How do you deal with preference in a system like this?
So what we do is we take preference out. Flavor. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it, buddy.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, you have to sign it for me because I've got
Of course,
the world's
of course.
largest collection of books signed by their authors
You have the world's largest collection of books signed by their authors?
upstairs. You can go see it.
In the world? Of all books?
You tell me who's got
I
more
think all
books than me.
cannabis, I'd hope.
You're talking cannabis?
Cannabis
or just
books. Cannabis
all the
specific
books in the
books.
world. They'd be
I was like,
Every book in the world signed by their authors.
Like
Mark,
Get the
Mark
Bible.
Twain originals up there and shit, signed by Mark
I
Twain.
have all
You mean
of the
cannabis
books.
Okay.
Did I not say
Cannabis.
that? Cannabis
No, yeah,
books?
you left out cannabis.
I
That's-
really appreciate you guys helping me with my my issues.
No
today.
problem. We're good at
Yeah.
that.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. So
Very nitpicky today. That's the thing.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
No problem.
Cool. So you wanna? What else you wanna know?
All right, so that's tag. Talk to us about interpreting.
Okay. Cool. So the thing is, you know, do you guys know much about wine sommeliers?
Sure, but why, maybe our audience does, maybe they don't.
Sure.
So always assume they don't.
Okay. So hey, for all of you out there who don't know what a wine sommelier is,
There's about 4,000 people watching right now.
At least.
Not really.
I was like, damn, that's pretty
Yeah,
good.
we have pretty good reach.
Cool.
All right with the squeak.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I highly recommend a movie you can watch for free on either YouTube or Netflix called SOMM, S-O-M-M, and this will blow your mind.
Blow your mind.
60 people watching right now. That's not bad.
What this movie is about is the training that it takes to become a level 3 sommelier, and these people can legitimately take a sip of wine blindfolded, tell you the year the wine was produced, on the zip code in the planet it was produced in, and
Right.
what the weather was that year. And the thing is this is a real thing. And so wine sommeliers, beer cicerones, coffee cuppers, cheesemongers, chocolatiers, tobaccoers.
Why can't we be weed mongers?
It's coming. Don't worry.
Well, the thing is, you know, when I was developing the,
See, like,
the cannabis
you
sommelier.
say cannabis sommelier, right? Why not cannabis monger?
Well, because it's not either. It's interpreter.
Oh, I see. So you just use cannabis sommelier to explain it to people.
Right, because people, it's so new, people don't know what interpreting is. And so I say, what is a cannabis sommelier? It's someone who does interpreting. And what is interpreting? We're interpreting terpenes. And why? It's because if you have the skill to determine the degree of the pungency and the freshness of the myrcene, you're going to know how much the myrcene is going to lubricate the blood-brain barrier and allow delta-9 bioavailability as much as detect other easily detectable smells. So your citruses and your D-limonene have a pharmacology of being uplifted, and that's what produces the quote-unquote sativa effect versus other smells that obviously produce indica-like effects. And so what we have an ability to do is in class in Denver, Colorado, we show 60 to 70 different samples of live cannabis flower. And after a 3-hour lecture on what cannabis is and where it comes from, we dissect the cannabis flower in an olfactory workshop and in a visual workshop, and we let people smell the degrees of different flushes, really poor flushes and semi-flushes to super clean flushes. We show people under microscopes what healthy trichomes look like and unhealthy trichomes, but we actually teach people the interpreting process in where in your nose you smell different types of terpenes and why those terpenes create the certain types of psychotropic effects they do.
Gotcha.
So you got some weed, Adam?
Yeah, I got 56 kinds of weed.
There you go.
And I have a master list also, so
Okay.
I can go.
So can you demonstrate both? Well, you don't have a microscope, so you can't.
Well, I don't necessarily need a microscope to do interpreting,
Well,
but
right.
but here's, you know, there's a few.
I have something that I would like to have interpened.
Bring it out.
Terpene.
Let me go find it. Let me find it.
So
Take it up.
So let me tell you about one problem that I have with OGs in the industry and interpreting.
OGs meaning the strains or the people?
I mean, a lot of the people.
Okay.
So a lot of people who have grown cannabis for 20 years.
Yeah.
People who really are super good at growing, right? People who I respect. 9 out of 10 times, these people don't crack out scientific textbooks on biology. They don't study Paul Malberg's work. They don't study Meshulam's work or Russo's work or Franjo Grottenherman. These are people who read grow books and not necessarily scientific textbooks. Sure. And so they're so fucking passionate about their strains and their variety types that comes from a place of, this is what it's been for me, and this is what it's been for my friends, and this is how I know it.
As far as what's good, or as far as
what it is,
what sort of things? Yeah.
Both. I mean, I think growers really understand quality, but the problem is the strain name dilemma.
Oh, sure.
So, like, you know, someone in California might have a 100% opinion on what Gorilla Glue is, and then by the time you get to Oregon, some dude who's been growing a cut of Gorilla Glue that he got from a homeboy who got it from Craigslist, who really believes he's growing Gorilla Glue, who is like, no, I swear this is Gorilla Glue, and you're just like, but it's just not. Yeah. It's just like that's the strain name dilemma.
Well, that's where that's where the future right now is, all certified cuts. You know, and that's funny because it's slipping into the dialogue now, where people are just like assume
there's a need for it.
Yeah, but people just assume it's already like a thing, and it's already like, so you can get those like certified cuts, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Who's certified cuts? Like the certified cut? Yeah, I can get you things that I believe are definitely real, and I can get them from the people who made it. So yeah, certified.
As certified as it gets
by me, but it's not there yet, you know. But people have this assumption that that's already like happening. Like you just go to the store and you get the certified of sour and the certified Gorilla Glue, and it's like that. When people do that, is when they start charging you big money.
Well, like, that is true. That's how that works.
Well, and there's also a huge problem with what you just said, certifying genes, and what we're talking about is genotyping. Mm-hmm. And when you genotype, what you're doing is you're having one person raising their hand and say, I have the original sour diesel. Mm-hmm. This is it. Put it on the phylum tree, the genomic phylum tree, and just know that this genetic marker equals sour diesel. Up until which point, there are now 24 genomic companies having hundreds of people submit to them what they think is the original sour diesel.
Right.
And
So
that's
when
why-
you have
that's-
6 or 7
that's
different
why.
people with 6 different types of genomes,
Yeah. That's
that's why what, mate?
That's why, Max Montrose.
The-
We're teaming up with Phylos Bioscience to get
to be those guys.
to
And
get
to bring those
what
guys
we
into the
know are
fold.
the originals.
So like this is the guy.
well, and you know what? And it's funny because whenever I bring this conversation up, I actually bring up the Adam Dunn show.
There you go.
And the reason why is because I say, in order for you to have a legitimate genotyping, for the person who claims that they have the original sour diesel,
yeah.
back it up with a lot of history.
Right, exactly.
Show me like years of your
Yeah, of
Cannabis
course.
Cup winnings and this and that and all your
cannabis
Champions.
competition.
That could be. You could say that. You could say that because that's just an ode too. Isn't it?
Right. They could have
That's a
won
news
the
item.
actual
That was a
Cannabis
news
In the-
item.
yeah, in
you
the
can
back.
do news items. You can do news items. Are okay. Cannabis Cup news. Yes, great.
Cannabis Cup news. But you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
the thing is, it's like I respect you guys because you are really well connected to the original breeders of
Sure.
these original cuts, and so I think an organization like this that has its hands really deep in the culture of where this stuff comes from is going to be a lot more helpful than a lot of what I've currently been seeing. Just to be honest.
Well, the deal and the reality is that it's like there's obviously history before us for sure, but there's a lot of rich history from like 90 through 96, 97, and then after that it kind of gets fucked up again. Like but those are the years when the big discoveries happened and things that were
enough
still
foundational stuff that you can look it up.
like a lot,
Like
and
reference
then.
it.
Pre that, it's all stuff that we wish we had. You know what I mean? Like in like Gainesville Green, things like that everybody talks about. But those are all the late '80s stuff. You know, and that nobody barely hung on to that. There's a few hash plants and there's a few other things out there that are dated that far back. People have seeds and they're cracking them and they're finding interesting things, but nobody has the one. You know what I mean? Like they hung on to that one. But then what's funny too is like you were saying, people you just go to the history. Sometimes it's been in 2 seconds. Somebody goes, "Dude, I've had this thing since 2000," and you're like, "All right, well, that's enough of that conversation." It's like you're 2000.
This is definitely the original, bro.
Yeah, it's 2001. You're like, it came out like in 92 or something. You know what I mean? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. People just don't know. First one. It's literally unknown to me exactly because the breeder I got the seeds from didn't quite know what it was when I.
Is that the one from Mr. B?
Yep.
Interpret away.
It's definitely not Kush, which is good.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not Durban, which is also good.
It defies all explanation.
Silence. And the pin drop. I can hear a pin
Dead
drop.
air. We should do the. You want to do shout outs while he's doing that?
Yeah, let's do shots.
Interpret
Quick.
5
Is it a
minutes.
max?
Good.
5
good.
minutes.
just
interpretation.
got-
Yeah,
You
I mean,
know,
I'm
you can
pretty
break
sure
it
I've
up.
got
You
a,
can break
a
it
little.
up.
I think I've got a little thing going on it already. You know what you can really detect in it is it's heavy in 3 of the top heavy hitter terpenes, which are really really common: myrcene, limonene, and pinene.
Pinene, yes.
And like you get those out like automatically, but you also smell it more closely to your eyes than you do the bottom of your nose. And based on the style and stigma, which is really interesting, is the quantity of pistils available in conjunction with bud structure and where in your nose you feel certain terpene structure kind of gauges. It's not an indica or a sativa. It's where on the spectrum of hybridization does this fall. And I personally believe that this would be a sativa dominant hybrid.
Interesting. I've never heard anyone say anything like that before.
Because of the structure and
The where in your nose you smell it.
Uh-huh.
Now that obviously has to be a correlation to what terpenes are predominant in each of those
So check this out.
and where you smell those.
So at one point in time, someone was sitting around drinking wine and they realized something really interesting. When you drink acidic wines, it highlights the tip of your tongue. And when you drink wines that are more with tannins, tannin-y wine, it highlights the side of your tongue. And so someone at one point in time said, holy shit, when I taste these 2 different types of wines, they're igniting different parts of my tongue, and that's interesting.
Sure.
And so what I've noticed is you really detect these sativas at the top of your nose and indicas towards the lower part of your nose. And there's a correlation with the amount of style and stigma and bud structure that gauges the feeling of the variety type, not necessarily the genotype
Right.
itself.
But now the feeling, right, like we were just talking about, is a correlation of the chemotype all kind of coming together, right? Like that's what makes the feeling.
Well, no, what makes the feeling is the specific terpene.
Sure, the
And-
terpenes being part of the
Correct,
chemotype. So the
correct.
cannabinoid content, terpene content, flavonoid content, everything that's in there, the unique chemistry of that bud is what gives that feeling. So, therefore, there has to be some correlation in the physical structure and the
Right.
chemistry is what you're pointing to, right?
Correct. In interpening class, we have about 20 different high-quality flowers that we line up in the full spectrum of psychotropic activity.
How much bad weed do you make them smoke?
Well, we don't make anybody smoke any weed, but we bring about 25 samples of the most disgusting weed you've ever seen in class with us.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah, we bring spider mites, fungus gnats,
man,
unflushed
don't
weed,
go there as a
powdery
grower.
mildew, botrytis cinerea, you name it.
Sealed? Are they sealed or something?
I probably have the world's largest collection of really
bad
shitty weed.
bud.
Awesome. Somebody should
Are
try
you
it.
like you see like particularly
That's
bad
awesome.
bud and you're like, ooh, that is terrible. I must have it.
Oh, dude, people
me an eighth.
people bring us bad weed to our office all the time because they know
Us
we
too.
appreciate it.
Definitely
if-
try to swing that around. That's what you were just smelling right there.
This, beautiful.
That's about 6 foot, so it's hard to say. It is definitely somewhere in the middle. It's not obviously not neither nor
Right.
one or the other, but it's from Bodie, and it's jasmine cat piss.
Jasmine cat piss.
So by description, it definitely doesn't have the cat pissy kind of background you'd think when you hear the name, though. But when
Is
it
it
was,
jasmine-y?
when it was,
I haven't seen the flower.
when it
from
was
yet.
just a sprout, I mean, it was automatically smelling really off the chain. Like,
Oh wow, you know what? When you break it open, you know what comes out real hard on it? Terpenoline.
terpenoline. Yeah, there's a lot of that in the
When you
sage
smell,
also.
yeah, when you smell the gas, that gassiness, that's a terpenoline, and the terpenoline is what's really responsible for. Okay, so you know how like in Golden Goat, when you smoke a Golden Goat or an ISS, something that's high in
why I say
citrus,
sage, yeah.
there's like a really clean sativa head high that's different from like a really racy sativa head high.
Right, like a sour diesel.
It's the terpenoline that adds to the limonene in the myrcene that makes the sativa that type of racy high. And now that this is broken open, I can detect a lot more of that terpenoline in there.
I won't open this one yet, but this one is this next one will probably be. Give that one to Mitch to check it out.
Oi.
Whoa!
I want Mitch to check my new
The
prototype
wheel.
out.
Show me the wheel.
This is the hash and concentrate wheel.
Okay.
So, potency, viscosity, purity, color, and extraction method for 10 different types of hash and concentrates. It's our next product coming out.
That's your next smeller. That's your next smeller.
Yeah.
Different. Much different.
Wow. Holy shit, dude.
Here, check this out.
Wow.
That's a smeller. I figured you wanted a smeller.
Wow. And so clean. Super well flushed. No salts whatsoever, dude. And the terpenoline and limonene in this, again, is heavy.
Yeah, that's why I knew that you would be like. I was like, this.
Holy
I gotta know
shit.
you
Like,
talking
dude.
terpenoline. Yeah. That's Timmy's. Sage.
Timmy sage.
That's green onion.
Oh, the
Can
green
I,
onion
can I
lemon
smoke
sage.
one of these buds?
Sure.
Yeah, can
yeah,
we
of
smoke
course.
some
I want to
jasmine
smoke some of
caddy?
this, dude.
Yeah, let me. We gotta.
I'm gonna do both. We're gonna do both.
Do
Um,
both. Do both. Do both. Do both.
Hey, you
Do
know
we
what?
do shout outs? We gotta do shout outs.
Sure. Let's do them. I realized last week I said 11 stores. I was like, what is that thing? No, was I
Yeah,
tripping?
no, I wasn't gonna correct you.
Was I tripping? 7 stores from our buddies over there at Way to Grow.
Way to grow.
All over the state. Not 11. Maybe they did. Maybe they built 5 other stores without telling me, or 4 other stores. I didn't know secretly.
Big.
But right
big
now,
shout
all of them, according to starting in what?
out. November 9th.
It's today.
It's 5 days from
Oh
now.
my God! It's after the end of the world. It's a day after the end of the world, so you may not be able to get the sale. The sale could possibly not happen.
It's gonna happen.
You don't think so? You
Yes.
think
Way to grow. Even if the world ends, Way to Grow will be there for you.
they'll be the last guys rocking
Microbe sale.
because I know you need it.
They got great white. After the end of the world, you need microbes more
Yeah, you got
than
to start with
anything.
microbes. That's where everything. We're back to microbes pretty
Yeah,
much
yeah,
at that point.
exactly. Yeah.
This be a post-nuclear sale, actually. By the way, Trump's in one day, or she's in one day. It's gone, right? Button straight to the button. Isn't that what happens?
That's how it goes. But they don't
But
go
before
until
all
January.
that, but before all that,
You know that, right?
no, yeah, they don't get to go in.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then it becomes Obama's just
Maybe
like,
Obama will
fuck it, senioritis, fuck, this guy's free, these guys free.
At least he's letting out all the drug offenders, dude.
He's letting out everybody.
Everybody.
Obama's closing jail.
Is he?
Yep, he's done with jail.
Well, maybe they can all go work at a Way to Grow now. They got
True that.
because
And
they're
they can help
expanding
out.
so
Help out.
fast. Expanding so fast. We need
The
all the
microbes
prisoners. We need all the
sale.
prisoners. Take them in.
November 9th through 23rd, 30% off Great White, Recharge, Orca, Azos, and Mycos, Organism
Myco.
XL. You can get everything ready to go. They're at Way to Grow at all. How many locations, Adam?
7, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty good now. Yeah, I figured that out. I don't know how I thought 11.
I don't know. You got excited.
7-Eleven, bro.
7-Eleven.
And
Big shout out to Incredibles Edibles.
those edibles.
Those edibles. Did you get a pumpkin yet this year?
Not yet. I'm definitely. We got to give them a heads up, but we should
Pumpkin
have had. We need one for
pie
Thanksgiving show.
Bar.
Yeah, we need a bunch.
Pumpkin pie.
Have you tried them yet?
Is it good?
Pumpkin
Talk
pie.
about terps. That's your terps right there.
Wow.
That's pumpkin terps.
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Terpumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Yeah,
Nice.
Terpumpkins are the shit right there. Also available not just in Colorado now, but look at that little map. Looks like a whole.
click that America.
Find a
America.
store in America.
Whole America.
Yeah, well, wish it was a whole America. Soon come.
Taint the whole America.
But they do have locations outside of Colorado, and inside of Colorado, they just cover the map. Look at it. It just looks like a... Now, if that was a post-nuclear map, that'd be bad. Look at that. Whoa, what happened?
But it's not a post-nuclear map.
No, it's not. It's just an incredible map. Also, incredible extracts, if you can get them, if they stay on the shelf long enough.
They don't usually.
Not really, but they are fire. Unbelievable.
Super good.
And you can get to them at iloveincredibles.com.
Yes, sir.
We also got our buddies
Build a soil.
Build a Soil.
855-877-SOIL. 855-877-SOIL. Or, of course, at buildasoil.com.
Give him. Just tell him I'm rolling a joint here. I can't.
Okay,
I'm
well,
trying
if
to-
you're
I'm doing some
interested
work.
in
You do some
anything
work.
organics, Build a Soil is the one other place that you can count on being there after the nuclear apocalypse.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
self-sustaining,
it'll all be soil, dude. The whole
Yeah.
world's gonna be soil.
self-sustaining,
Everyone just be.
driven by nature and the processes of nature. If you've ever thought about going organic, using recycled soil, amended soil, living soil, there's so many different sub-styles of organic growing, gardening, and farming. Jeremy's got it all. And I say growing, gardening, and farming because it doesn't matter if you're doing one plant, one light, 1 acre, 1,000 acres.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy's got you. You're good. So check out buildasoil.com and tell them Adam Dunn Show sent you. And, of course, big shout out to Grow Stones. You making Grow Stones, Adam?
No, yeah. Where's my grow stones?
No, they're right over here, just waiting on.
Oh,
he
so
goes,
I'm
where's
making
my
tin
grow?
cans.
Where's my Grow Stones? What
We're
the
not
hell?
gonna mention what was in front of you. So.
Grow Stones, of course, made of recycled glass.
And last week, that show is back up, right?
Back KTI, yeah, this is the big
KTI,
announcement.
what did you do? Did you
KTI
have to
teamed
slap some
up
people up,
with
Brian?
Livestream to create
Recreate the show.
Where the fuck
Dude.
is my beer?
to recreate the show exactly.
That.
I love this show.
That's a good. You're in, dude. Don't you worry. You're making grow stones too. You know those grow stones are 100% recycled.
Recycled
Of
glass,
course I know that.
100%.
Sure.
Who wouldn't know that?
But you like to make them too, don't you?
Oh,
loves
I make
making
grow stones in my
Oh,
sleep.
this guy used to make grow stones.
He
No
can't
more
make
grow
no
stones for
grow
him.
stones.
No more grow stones for this guy. So that last week's show, if you had somehow thought it was over, it's not. It's back up. KTI.
No, it's up. It's all good to
slapped
go.
the
You just got to check
shit
again.
out of those people and told them, "What the
Yeah.
hell?
No, they were really
The
awesome.
show must go on." Yeah, and on top of that, you can check them out at what is it? What is the website? Come on, give it
That's
to me. I
growstone.com.
don't know. Every time I say something, it's always
And
done.
they got a video too.
It's always done.
They got videos.
You want to play their video?
Videos.
They got videos for days.
Oh, they have the perfect soundtrack. That was it. That was what we liked. It's like Seinfeld.
Uh-huh.
It is like Seinfeld.
Grofeld.
Grow feet. Yep. Oh my God! Look at that. All that work.
Seinfeld reggae.
It's pretty much what it is. Exactly. You're right.
Seinfeld reggae.
So is it plastic or glass or both?
Glastic.
It's all glass. Glastic?
No, glastic's not a real thing. It's glass.
It's all glass.
White these roots are.
Pure glass. Plastic wouldn't be good.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, we wouldn't want that. But grow stones are made from recycled glass, which there will also be a lot of after the apocalypse.
So they'll be killing it.
Yeah. Uh-huh. All the deserts will turn into glass, I think.
All right.
Right?
There we go. Boom. Growstone.com. You're right. You guys are right. And big shout out to the guys over at Hydroponic Research with their Veg and Bloom product. Keeping it simple. Growing big things.
Veg it and
Big
bloom it.
tings, man. Big tings. Keep it simple. That's back to the original grow formula that everybody learned. I think that's how everyone learned first. Then we made it all complicated. We started having 17,000 different pieces of the puzzle, and somehow combining stoners and multiples of more than, say, 5 or 6, you guaranteed one thing is not going to get done right. They're going to be not pay attention, double up on their B or who knows, or 2 A's, no B's. I've seen it all. I've seen it all go down. And if you do it like this, keep it. I mean, you shouldn't be able to fuck up too bad. And on top of that, they've got it all covered. Biggest grows we've seen in America, killing it like consistently. So, and
not just yields, like that's
it's
what's great
consistency.
about,
That's the key to the whole thing. That's more than just like having one good shot here, one good shot there.
Because it's not something you're mixing. They make it for your water. All the variables are out. It's
That's true.
The same thing. It's
great
perfect
foliar
for
too.
you.
The shine stuff.
I mean, the whole lineup. You can't beat it. Find out more at hydroponic-research.com.
And
We got another video.
don't forget these guys. What?
Who are these guys?
Oh shit! Who are those guys?
Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa.
Ooh, scary. We should have done this on Halloween. This is more Halloweeny. Ooh, hair follicles.
Beard follicles.
Brains of butts. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Is this a sale? Is there a big sale? Is that
There's
the
always a
reason why
big
they put
sale
this
going
on?
on.
Big sale. Actually, I have it on my phone. Let me look it up. Big
Uh-oh,
sale.
now we're over.
Uh-oh, that was over.
Sponsored by Seeds Here Now.
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 Let me see. I did have a special.
.com.
I did have a special. Hold on.
You got drop it like it's
November special. Oh, here I can't read it. Too many words. Come on. I gotta roll
What?
joints. I gotta roll joints. Can't roll joints.
November specials. Purple Rain by Ethos Collective, $48.88 a pack. 20% off all Sunny Chiba genetics, all TSK, the seed company genetics, and all Alaska built genetics. Extended $98 a pack on all Crockett family farms, Dark Horse genetics, and most strains by Exotic Genetics. Every order over $500 gets a free 11-pack of Grimm Mix by Brothers Grimm, and every order over $150 gets a free 3-pack of limited edition Batch 45, a.k.a. LRB 45 by Exotic Genetics.
Nothing to do with the MK Ultra.
And also you can watch that cool MK Ultra video
Over and over again. Just put it on repeat. And announcing Nextlight is joining us. Checks in the mail, I said.
Cool.
So
Well, the neck's in the mail
it's
too.
okay.
buddy.
I'm just giving them a heads up that they're going to be jumping on board. We also got the guys who make the Easy Squeeze from dabsondemand.com coming on board. They say their stuff sent in the mail. Got a handshake from the guys from Millennium because they don't like to sign contracts, but they say they've never screwed anybody over. Gave me a handshake and started a deal, so that's happening.
What?
I'm telling you, this is how it works, dude. Done deals can be like that.
Okay.
I already said, I have my Jew really wants numbers, and he wants. They're like, it sounds like you're building a case against us. I was like, no, we're not.
Yes, of course,
like-
we're building a case against.
I was like, yeah, of course, we're gonna own this store, but no, they're gonna come on board. And who else we got? I think we got a few more, but we'll talk about them when they get real closer. They'll get closer. These guys are really on board, though.
They're on board.
They
It's
are
happening
100%,
any
yes.
second now.
It's already happening. You
We're-
just don't feel it.
It already happened.
It just hasn't hit the.
You almost missed it.
It hasn't hit the bank. That's why you don't feel it. I know.
True.
I know.
I haven't seen the contracts either. I haven't seen nothing.
Contracts in my inbox. So
Okay, there you go.
That's good enough. That's good enough.
It is.
Whew. So we're gonna have a lot more sponsors. We're gonna have 3 more sponsors.
It's going to take a lot longer to get through this.
We're gonna do it quicker. We're gonna come up with slicker, better.
quicker, slicker, better.
Yeah.
Shredder.
Basically, we're going to have Max Montrose is going to come down and do all the commercials. So look at that guy. That guy looks like a dude who does commercials.
He does.
You look like that's what you do all day.
And
like,
you can throw in a free...
Max Montrose, commercial master.
What if you could
give
throw
me
in...
Give me your ultimate radio voice, because you have to have one.
Yes.
This is the Adam Dunn Show with Max Montrose. No, that I was trying to be like a fucking
You're much better when
Japanese
you
man
just,
on
no,
fucking
when
crystal
you have,
meth.
Your normal voice is much more unique and different, so it's better. Stick to that.
This is the Adam Dunn Show with Max Montrose.
Now that sounded like
good.
That sounded like some
Mitch Simoes.
CPR shit.
So KTI, what was that? We had another special show.
No, and then we got our last special. Lisa Ganora's got her.
Oh yeah.
Let me pull that.
What?
Hoopa Doopa Moop.
That's a Hoopa Doopa special. That was really well set up. Well set up.
Segue, you like that? Seamless.
It's fucking seamless. All right, I'm rolling.
No. So Lisa's got. There's an open enrollment for the fundamentals of medical herbalism evening program, and it's in Boulder.
Nice.
So if you get a chance, check it out. It's at clinicalherbalism.com, and then check out the programs
Max
and
is all over
courses.
that shit
And
right there.
it's the fun of herbalism. So just go check it out, and I'll put a link up in the chat show.
And we know you guys love Lisa when she was on the show, so we can only expect that you would love to learn more.
Like I said, Max is already looking at him. He's already booking tickets.
Yeah, I already bought one.
Nice.
Signed up the whole family.
Sign him up. All right, well, that was it, right? Boom, shout-outs done.
That's it. Wow. Got it. So now, but interpreting doesn't involve, you have to smoke it to taste it, right? So that is still part of it, right?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Do we get to smoke it?
Sure.
Okay.
So I mean, the thing is
That is necessarily.
you can interpin bud all day long without ever smoking it, and I do that all day. I mean, I can assess cannabis flower with, sight and visual, and you don't even really need to touch the stuff. But at the end of the day, I mean, what you do is you do interpening to see what it is that you ultimately want to choose to smoke.
Okay, that makes sense.
It sounded like it went.
So you don't figure anything out.
that
Was it a
one.
very interpreting?
Anytime someone says smoke less weed, we get real suspicious. We're like, what?
This is true.
Wait a minute. You don't have to smoke it.
Well, I mean, I was shopping for interpening class at a dispensary a couple weeks ago, and it was my first time in this dispensary, and their personal grow is phenomenal. So clean, really well flushed, perfect trichomes. But they barely had any of their homegrown for sale, and they had only wholesale flower for sale. And it was crazy. Every jar I opened, I gave this bud tender a private interpening. I was like, let me show you why this is hermaphroditic. Let me explain to you why this is unflushed. Let me show you why these trichome heads...
Why is hermaphroditic inherently bad? Unflushed for sure, right? Like it's going to affect your taste. It's not going to be a good smoke. But hermaphroditic bud, does it smoke worse inherently?
So here's the deal with hermaphroditic. What hermaphroditic is about is seeing the fact that anthers are present, what we call in the industry bananas. Because if the hermaphrodization happened early enough in the flower cycle and you do see bananas, that indicates that a seed could be possible. And you don't want to smoke a seed because smoking wood sucks. So is it bad to smoke a little male flower site? Absolutely not. But if you're going to consider yourself a cannabis expert who analyzes cannabis flower from an expert perspective, then seeing a male flower site inside of a female flower is not as good as it could be or should be. And so it's just kind of a warning sign.
Do you really feel that gender is a binary thing, or do you think it's more flexible in today's society?
Well, in today's society, it's more than flexible. It's bending over backwards and sharing the same bathroom, which I'm totally cool with. I don't give a shit.
Except in your flowers.
No,
First time smoking it, so you're the second.
This is the
guy.
Jasmine
Yeah,
Cappus?
the
This
first
is your
time.
first time smoking
Yeah,
it?
I didn't try. I waited. I only took one
Wow.
bud. Took one bud out. Yeah, no, totally. I want to get everybody's opinion before. This is only one of them. There's 3 of them, and this is this runt of the litter, so wasn't probably going to take this one anyway. But it still had nice structure. This is outdoor, actually, so just so you know, too.
I'm about to pull my outdoor down today. Right when I leave the show, I'm gonna just hop in my boxers. And
Made
just
it
go
this
run.
far?
Oh, dude, actually, they should be going for another week. But I'll be in Vegas and Malibu for the next week for the big industry show. But yeah, I usually always harvest the middle of
Big
November
industry Plugs.
every single year.
Gustavo owes us money for that. How much does he owe us?
It's not
That was-
not the real big industry.
Oh, no, when is
He's
that?
just saying the big industry.
Oh,
It's
not,
a big
An
industry show.
Not
yeah.
the big
Not-
I didn't
Listen,
say
listen,
Not
you-
the big show.
Max, what is it with you?
Now
You
we
can't
just
say
shouted
big.
it out.
You
It's
can't say
not-
big industry show.
It's not like I said the cannabis cup. Oh shit!
But you said the big show. See, the big industry show is a thing now. So that you
You know, industry shows that are really big.
yeah.
The one that's in Vegas,
Very
the
they're in
MJ
Vegas.
Business Industry Show.
heavily attended show is what you mean, right?
God, dude, this fucking world sucks.
Right. Well, that one you
Trademarks.
that one you don't have to worry about because that's one of the worst named. I hate that. Every
Listen,
time I
the
go
word
there, I'm like,
trade, the word interpening is more than trademarked. It's reserved, and you can all use it.
There you go.
You just can't sell shit with it.
I already got shirts.
You can
dude.
say
I already
it.
got shirts.
That's
I
good.
made,
You
I
can
made my
say
own
it.
bootleg
I'm
color.
not
color.
gonna. I'm not gonna fucking sue you for saying it.
Mitch and I have our own bootleg.
We have
wheels.
our own course.
We have our own
I actually just changed my book title and I put it out as Interpreting by Mitch Sinatra.
with a wheel, a black and white wheel.
yeah.
I remember when you and I were talking about this.
Well, no, it's fun because we
about
both
back
just
porch,
seen
like,
both
3
seen
years
Psalm,
ago.
and we were both like, "Holy shit! Someone should do this for Herb," and we both did it at the same time.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
You guys.
Oh my god!
right, give me
Then
some-
I met this guy and started doing a radio show, and you kept running with yours.
Yeah.
And now you get to go to Hawaii. I never been to Hawaii. I just have to hang out with Adam and
And you
smoke
get
the
to go to
Jasmine
Jamaica.
Kepis.
And you get to go to Jamaica too. You get to go all over.
You get to go everywhere. What I get to
In
go to
Oregon, and
I get
New
to go to
York,
San
and
Bernardino.
Virginia.
It's a rough
Rub it in.
life.
We got
Rubbing it
back
in.
from Alaska last month. We were doing a
yeah.
training up there. It was
Adam
the
went to
shit.
Alaska.
I
Adam went
got
to
to do that.
Oh, hey, we were at the same show.
Weren't we actually?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were. See,
Well, there you go.
it's hard. It's hard to get all uppity around me with
Hey,
shows.
you know what I got at that Alaska show?
We've never
What,
gotten to go out of
herpes?
America.
No.
Besides that, I got myself some Ruderalis genetics.
Oh, nice.
And,
But that's something that works up there.
Well, we're gonna be doing an experimental grow upstairs from you guys.
Right here. Dude,
Yeah.
tell everyone, because everyone
Yeah.
knows our address because we do the gallery here, so it's good to tell people that you're growing pot up there.
Yeah, that's
Right,
the first
yeah.
rule.
But they
You're
won't
breaking
know
all the
which
rules
of the
here.
apartments.
Oh, yeah,
you
I'm
know.
sure.
I
It's
mean,
called the-
not that
put
there's a
it on
Trichome
all.
Institute logo on it.
Just kick every door in until you find it. That's what you usually do.
It's not like a massive grow. We're gonna be chemotyping, genotyping, and phenotyping Ruderalis in comparison with indica and sativa, all grown together. But we're gonna have 3 indica, sativa, and a Ruderalis growing in living soil with organic nutrients next to cocoa with synthetic nutrients, and we will be doing a lab analysis on the difference between these plants grown in the exact same environment with different nutrients in different mediums with different genetic structures.
And how many different plants did you say you're doing now?
So we're going to do 6 plants total. 2 indica, 2 sativa, and 2 Ruderalis, all from seed, all simultaneously. And this grow is going to be live feed 24/7. But once a week, we're going to explain the experiment of the week or the LED lighting that we're using and all of the different experiments that we're doing. So we're experimenting, with light, nutrient, soil, plants. We're doing like 20 different experiments with this one grow. So we're really excited about it.
That's pretty cool.
What's this?
So, what's your opinion on when to harvest the trikes? It's the
Ooh.
top question from.
So here's I've got a really good answer for when to harvest the trikes. Frenchy Cannoli really disagrees with me on this, which is okay because I'm about to research my scientific papers that I got from Paul Malberg himself, the world authority on cannabis botany and biology, who did a lot of the work actually for Mississippi State and even the DEA for 40 years.
Snitch.
So, I mean, he's not definitely, trust me, he's not the cops. He's just a dorky scientist who likes to study cannabis. And he's really, really good at it. And so the thing is we have a lot of scientific research that shows that when your trichomes, when the bulbous trichomes begin to become amber, that the color amber is a proven indication of cannabinoid, terpene, and flavonoid degradation in the start of it. And we know that the glandular trichome heads are clear when there's not a lot of chemistry inside of them. And so cannabinoids, terpenes, and flavonoids are created in the disc cell, which is primarily in the center of the glandular head. And then over time, as certain light frequencies are producing cannabinoid synthesis through cannabigerol, CBG, and out of other terpenes, that it really fogs the head up with the chemistry and the magic within the trichomes, and it actually rises to the very top of the trichome head, which is called the secretory cavity. And so basically, when your trichomes are milky, they are as ripe as when a banana is yellow. And when a banana is green, your trichome heads are clear. And when a banana is post-ripe and brown is kind of when your trichomes are amber. And so what you want to do...
Chefs say that brown bananas are the best.
For sugar process,
Right,
but
so
those are
it's like-
bananas, not trichome heads.
But
So
even for
if you make
trichomes,
it-
at that moment in time, they might be perfect. But if you have to dry it, by the time it's dried, it's
Right.
actually gone too far. That's,
Well, I mean, and you said French cannoli, he makes water constant, you know, so.
what
is
I,
there-
what I always compare, what I always tell people too is when you harvesting, it's almost like when you're baking a cake, and when you're baking a cake and you're really good at it, you don't actually wait until it's cooked inside the oven to
pull it out,
to
right?
finish thing. You have to actually pull it out ahead, and it's going to still cook a little bit. And if when you master that, is when you become a good fucking
Maybe
chef
I don't
or
know if we
baker
can
or
hold
whatever.
that up.
Baker.
So anyway, so the
Baker.
point is here's the point when you should harvest.
Day before the guys steal it from you.
That's it's one of the top times.
That's what I would say.
So, what maximum potency is maximum potency is a climactic point. It's too dark for that shit. You ain't gonna see that. You guys, yeah.
I have to hold the light up to it.
So, the ripeness is at a climactic point, which is a point. You know that you've reached the climactic point when you do see a few ambers. And so when you see just a couple amber trichomes and the rest of all of them look really milky, if you cut your plants down right then, 4 hours after you cut the stalk sets in cannabis necrosis, which is the chemical that tells the plant that it is dying. And then what's really bizarre is it's the necrosis that actually stops the terpene production, which is why your weed smells like fresh cut lawn almost 2 hours after you cut it down, and it smells like that for about 3 days until you start to cure it and the terpenes come back, which is fascinating, and we're going to start to research a little bit more about that. But
Is it that the terpenes go away, or is it that the shitty smell is stronger?
well, that's what we want
Gotta
to
find
look
out, I
at.
guess,
Is like
yeah.
that's what we don't know. Is like, you know, when you smell your ganja before you cut it down, it's so amazing.
Super dank. Then
and then you cut it down, you're just like, what the fuck happened?
I mean, are you just smelling? I wonder all the just everything else that was in there that's leaking out.
I mean,
Because there's chlorophyll. There's all kinds of. You
Sure.
cut the stalk, right? Like there's a bunch of that stuff that's going to come out in the drying.
sure, but it's not all the stalk. I mean, I'm talking about I've ripped large buds off of my plant and trimmed them immediately, so there's no leaves, there's no stem, there's no stalk, there's
Yeah, but
no
you have
roots.
all that. So you have all that
And then-
cut leaf surface,
and then you
right?
and then you smell that bud that's only a day old, and it still smells like a lawnmower,
Sure.
and not like that citrusy, skunky gasoline plant that it was until you cure it. And then it's really the magic of the cure that slowly brings those live hydrocarbon chains, those isomers, back to some type of point that gets them evaporating again. And so we don't really know much about that. That's never been looked at.
Never in history of mankind.
a great mystery.
Great mystery.
So what mysteries are you? What other mysteries are you guys cracking?
Well, we're solving a lot of problems in the industry. Cannabis education is currently really terrible. We're the only cannabis education company in the world that produces textbooks and student workbooks. All of our textbooks are reviewed and approved by some of the highest authorities in cannabis law, science, and medicine. This textbook that I wrote is the only textbook in the world that teaches people how to sell federally illegal drugs that has 2 layers of government certification and approval. So this is approved by the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment and the Marijuana Enforcement Division. And through this curriculum, we are licensed to certify people and businesses in this industry as responsible vendors, which gives you layers of protection from the Marijuana Enforcement Division and a few other things. It actually trains your bud tenders what the rules, laws, regulations are, how to deal with problem customers, but more so how to vend these different products responsibly. And we're actually really excited about our cannabis product and sales training book, which just came out. It's essentially the Bible on all cannabis products and cannabis product
Another
types.
Bible?
Yeah.
A lot of Bibles out
There's a
there.
lot of Bibles. It's
lot
the
of
Bible
religions.
of cannabis products, though.
So when you
not
say cannabis
plants.
products, tell me about that.
So we do customer service that's specific to the industry. We even cover, appropriate slang. Customer service, where we go into tolerance and recommending physicians, potency dosing, but we go into cannabis flower, smoke, vapor, handheld vaporizers versus vape pens, time to effects, maxing strains, listening to your consumers, the experimental phase, why everyone is different, edibles, time to effect, the benefits. We even talk about edible-induced psychosis, which is interesting, and we can talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
Hash and concentrates, dabbing, safe dabbing, dangerous dabbing, live resin, rosin, tasting for residual solvents at home, sublinguals, transdermals, topicals, what their benefits are, administrations, dosing, limitations, advantage, all that good stuff, product weight and measurement conversions between the U.S. and the metric system. And this curriculum is actually available online right now with 24/7 live human support. With graphics and games that you play with to get through the program, with knowledge enforcement technologies, and a certification at the end. How cool is that?
For your
Yes.
fridge, of course. For your fridge.
And then you can get a job as a bud tender for $12.50 an hour.
Hey, well, if you really want to be a bud tender and it's hard to get that job, this would actually help you.
Exactly.
So
why don't you tell us about edible psychosis?
So here's the deal. I was in a few meetings with the health department, and they were talking about how people are going insane from eating cannabis edibles.
Insane sounds like such a permanent thing.
Right.
Right?
and
Like
so-
insane is like something that you don't, it's not like, oh man, these people were really fucked up for a while. Like they're broken forever.
Well, a lot of this really kind of started coming out around the time that the kid decided to jump off the balcony the same week that the guy shot his wife in the face, both after eating edibles. And that was the first 2 weeks of legalization in Colorado, and people were
Good
scared.
batches, good batches, good batches. I blame it on. That's all it was. One good
All
batch.
it was.
One good batch.
It was a
One
good batch.
of edibles.
Everybody started jumping off buildings. That's what happens. when you
280
make-
bars.
Yeah.
So the thing is as a cannabis expert, I was raising my hand in these meetings like, you all are crazy. It had to be the other pills that he was on, or the other things in their system, or there has to be something outside of this, because we've been in the cannabis industry, this has been going on forever, and nobody's ever heard of this. This is all lunacy. Until they just kind of shut me up by showing me all of these reports coming out of Denver Health, where it showed people who have really high tolerances to cannabis, who have been using it for over 10 years and know what they're doing, would eat more of the edible than what was recommended to them. And what happens is Delta 9 THC, which I'm smoking right now, it's not water soluble. It's only fat and alcohol soluble, but we are made out of water and we excrete water. So when you metabolize Delta 9 THC, your liver makes the molecular structure water soluble by transforming it into 11-hydroxy THC, not Delta 9.
Do you say 11?
I was coughing on
Because I feel like they're like British
11.
people who would say
11.
11.
11-hydroxy
11.
THC.
Yeah. 11.
And the thing is 11-hydroxy can become 2 to 6 times more potent, and it can last 2 to 6 times longer.
Man, we should be
It's
growing
erratic
that.
in its
We want that
uptake.
shit. Love that.
And it really can it affects
When you
people
think you're
differently.
gonna die. That's when you think you're gonna die.
That is when you think you're gonna
When
die.
what? Why and what happened?
When
you
it's
eat
6
too
times
much.
stronger than normal, and it takes fucking 5
Or no,
times.
when you eat one edible and it doesn't work
Yeah.
for you, so you eat another and then
Yeah.
another, and then you get the train effect, and then
Oh yeah.
yeah, train wreck.
So
So
get train wrecked. That's
Train
good.
wrecked.
So let me ask you: would it be safe for someone to eat, say, 5,280 milligrams of THC in one Adam Dunn show?
I don't know. Maybe
Of course.
it depends on the person.
Tim, you could do it.
Tim's going to do
Tim's
it.
hardcore.
I've been trying to build up my tolerance.
Tim's ready.
Well,
You've been working on this.
What's the average amount you eat, Tim?
oh,
come-
yeah. Come on.
okay,
You don't,
Tim,
you don't
you
have
can-
to come to the mic. It's okay.
Yeah, you
Nobody
can shout
really
from
needs to
a
hear
Why
your
would
voice.
you want me
Why
to
would
shout?
you want me
Sure,
to
with this-
shout
such a good radio
out?
voice.
Yowzers.
I've been trying to work my way up. I went
To
with
the mic.
I went with 500 milligram to the Tool show the other night.
How was that?
Felt pretty comfortable.
Okay.
Felt pretty good.
So you could do 10 times that, no problem.
Yeah, I was at 2. See, my metabolism slowed down a little
10
bit the past couple of years.
10
so
and a half times as much as what we want you to do. Is that cool?
I used to be able to just say I could eat anything and I would be all right.
Then wake up like 3 days later and be like, was it good?
Dude.
You're like, I don't know, dude.
You feel like you got. I mean, there is a little bit of that you feel like you got hit by a truck when you
Oh, yeah.
take a lot of edibles.
Oh,
You wake up and you're like, but is that because your muscles have relaxed
I don't know.
and
I think
just
because
let go a little bit? And
You're,
I don't
just, you're a big flabby mess and you're just like pulling down on the earth or something. What? You're a little
there's probably a
skinny
certain point with edibles where you take. It's like you dabbed or smoked enough where you're not going to get any higher. You're probably just going to pass
But
out.
that's the problem with edibles is it's like this. There is this.
But then when you wake up, you're higher.
it's a totally different kind of high. Like you can't
What are
get
you
higher
talking
with weed smoking. You can smoke yourself straight. That's no problem. But when it comes to edibles, you're fucked. You're like, oh,
Really?
you got to ride it out. Yeah,
You think
there's
so?
nothing
I
you
have
can do.
never taken enough. I've been a few times.
Have you ever been so high that you fell asleep and you woke up and then you were higher than you've ever been before?
That's when you're.
No,
eating too
not
much
that I
I
edibles.
can
mean, you haven't
remember.
eaten enough edibles. You will.
See, but that's what I'm saying is like I've tried
Yeah.
to get to that point to where
We'll get
I've
you there,
overdosed
buddy.
on edibles.
We'll get you.
Oh, we'll
and
get
there's
you.
been a few times.
I'm ready. We're ready for you.
When I took a break,
Derek,
for
can you
a
make those
while-
bars for us, please?
when I took a break for a while and then came back
Custom.
and started dabbing again, there were plenty of times where I felt like I overdid it, and then like that oh my god, what did I do moment where you start to spin and spiral.
Yes.
I've had that a
Yes.
few times with edibles, but it lasts like 2 seconds because
Oh,
I tell
well.
myself you're
you
going
didn't
to
do
be fine.
5280. That was the problem.
52,
80,
80,
5280, 5280. Tim,
5280,
5280.
5280.
Come on, do it.
You too? Are you in?
80,
Will you do it?
You do 5280?
Hell no. I'm out.
You're
Out.
out. You're out. Look at you tapping out already.
I'm fucking out.
52.80 milligrams.
How about 52.80? We do that? Yeah.
52.80.
52.80.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I'll
I'll
do
do
a
that
couple
right
of
now.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you should do is make the bars
I did
look
double
exactly
that
the
last
same.
night.
You got to make them look exactly the same, except on it you see a little point, and then just like fuck with people all night and go, dude, did you just? Oh, man. And then people who eat the 52s will die. Will think they ate 5280. They'll freak out.
What was that time I got so high that
Oh, get off the mic, buddy. You're not allowed. No one hears you. You're just a mumbling little thing in the back. Just mumbling.
Well, can I say one good thing about this edible psychosis thing?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, it is beyond extremely rare, like it barely ever happens ever, is
Okay.
one point. And then the second point is every single time edible-induced psychosis has ever happened and the person was hospitalized and treated, it's never lasted longer than 48 hours. So the point is
They're not permanently crazy.
it's really rare for this to happen, and if it does happen, it's temporary.
What
And
about-
so at the end of the day, this is another reason to show that, like, okay, even in the most extreme dangerous factors of cannabis, you're still going to be okay at the end of the day. And I think that's a pretty important point to get across.
Yeah, that's.
I just don't want to piss people off when I'm talking about edible-induced psychosis, and they're like, fuck this guy, he's talking about shit in our industry, it's going to fuck everything up. And it's like, no, I just,
no.
you have to wait for the other
Well, the whole
part of
thing
the
is
science. I mean,
it's always been the thing with cannabis. It's never less. It's like people would come in all fucked up, and then they would give them a Valium. You know what I mean? Be like, really? That's it? That's your big fucking treatment for that? No, guaranteed.
yeah,
What did you want to say, Tim?
Well, it's been a big thing here lately. The edibles and potency. 60 Minutes
Or
here
lack
recently.
lack of therefore. I would
Well,
say.
the potency issue became a big issue here in the last legislative session. They tried to limit THC, but then again, here the past 2 weeks, as this has become another issue on the ballot throughout the state, legalization throughout the country, 60 Minutes presented this ridiculous story
I saw
about drug driving and parents using cannabis, and then the other to top that off, here in Colorado, PBS did a story about cannabis and cannabis laws and rules, and they made it seem like it was going to be this fact-based situation about what laws were going to be passed across the United States, but instead it was just this fear mongering story about Colorado and the things that we've done here. And, one of the facts they gave is if you're a mother and you have a baby and you're breastfeeding your baby, you're
6 times stronger.
7 to 8 times. What you're smoking and what you're ingesting, your baby is going to get 7 to 8 times more. But see, at the beginning of this whole show,
That sounds awesome.
they said this is all anecdotal
You've
evidence.
been drinking that shit the whole time.
This is a doctor that is saying this, though. No scientific evidence behind this at all. Just completely made
Probably
up.
'cause
I
the
mean, it's
kid's
insane.
10 times smaller than you is what they're trying to
Yeah.
say.
And the funny thing is, the actual facts and the science behind it is that some of the most heavily concentrated cannabinoids naturally occurring are in breasts, are in mother's breast milk.
Whoa!
And people refuse to
Whoa.
believe that. You say that. I mean,
Breasts.
exactly. The reaction that you
Breastulus.
just gave
Breastulus
is what people
Love
give.
saying that.
What?
Breastises.
So
But it's going to be a big thing, and what
So,
I'm scared about
can
is
we-
that
can we-
THC limits are going to be limited, and that
No
maybe things
limits.
like the 300, the social use issue, other things are going to be limited because of this fear mongering, and we still have to overcome that. And education is the key.
So I've got something to say about the breast milk.
Giggity.
We do have some scientific evidence that's not anecdotal that does prove that smoking cannabis you can't get
Makes you
your child high
awesomer.
through the breast milk. We know that for a fact.
Boom.
And we also know that it doesn't really affect
So
the baby.
it goes from 7 or 8 times as much as to nothing.
Yeah,
Zero
and, but one thing that I do want people to know is there's a misconception that phytocannabinoids that are found in the cannabis plant, phyto meaning cannabinoids that derive from the sun and photosynthesis, that are found in breast milk, and that's not true. What is true is endogenous cannabinoids are found in breast milk, and there's really 2 types. There's 2AG and
That'd be nice.
no, what's the other one? 2AG and whatever. It's the other
other
endocannabinoid that is
Endo-milko.
more popular.
He's an
There's
expert
around
on
8 of them.
phytocannabinoids,
Yeah,
not endocannabinoids.
Pretty much, yeah. No.
Turpin milk after this.
Milk terpene.
Speaking of interpening,
This one's got this
Did you
kind
put
of
any,
terps
like,
going through it.
terpene sugar in here or
No,
something?
no, nothing.
Terpene
You
sugar.
didn't put anything like super
No,
slick
there's-
in this? This
no.
is still the cat piss?
No, there's the other one.
What is this one?
That's the second one, the one that was real.
That's
Oh
the
my God.
onion lemon.
That's the lemon onion one.
Seriously, this is just unreal.
Yeah, it definitely has a. It was off the charts on Piney, literally off the charts when they tested it. I have a terp. Let me see if I can find. I have a terp profile from it. And
That's
it
pretty
was-
cool that you can say, well, no, it was literally off the charts.
It was off the charts. It's like, oh fuck, it goes off the chart. Let me see. Timmy Lawson, master,
Good old Timmy Lawson.
master of the onions.
Onion master, Timmy Lawson.
Mm-hmm. So come on, keep talking, guys, while I look up.
KTI, do you have any questions?
KTI's got something.
Come on, KTI.
So, what do the courses look like?
Which ones?
Well, there you go.
The ones online, the ones in person, the ones I teach, or the
Well,
ones other
online is
people
probably
teach?
the most relevant. 'cause
Yeah,
most
you
of our
know.
audience is online.
So
So
our
let's start
online
Yeah, this is most
courses,
accessible.
yeah, our online courses, like I said, they're awesome. You actually, some of the aspects is kind of like playing a game. You get to move through different parts of the graphics with professional photography, voiceover. If there's something that you don't understand in the program or in different parts of the program, you can click a little button in the corner and an HD video of me pops up and teaches you how to use a bong, if that's what you need to know.
Now, do they have to use the bong to pass the test, or
of
they just have
course.
to know how to use
Yes,
the bong?
every soccer mom at home who wants to take care of her child with epilepsy must do a bong hit while taking my online course.
That's a joke.
Yeah. Of course.
Like,
So, yeah, I mean, the thing is you can get a cannabis product and sales training certification, or a cannabis product certification from the Trichome Institute by taking this course in, the convenience of your own home whenever you want. You can go through the
Or the
course as
public
long as you
library if you're
type.
homeless.
Yeah, exactly. But there's also live human support, 24/7.
Oh, that's cool.
Live human support.
Are they in India?
No, they're actually Americans in the state of Colorado.
That's awesome. 24/7.
24/7 at
That's
2
cool.
o'clock in the morning. You can be like, I don't understand
That's
this
cool.
part of my course, and so you can ask a little help window, and yeah, someone who's not from India, someone who probably hangs out and smokes weed and knows the course really well will pop and be like, "What do you need help with, man? Let me walk you through this, bro."
Serve that bowl together.
Yeah, yeah. And then here's the other cool thing: if there's anybody out here who's listening to this, this includes you guys, the Adam Dunn Show. If you guys want to help us sell this online course to people who you think might want to take it or who are interested, we have an affiliate program where every person.
So you guys are going to want to go to Trichome Institute /ADS, I believe. That's where you're going to want to go to.
Yeah,
Yes?
for every course that you help us sell, you earn $50. And, so you help us sell 1,000 courses, and that's $50,000. So we give 20% of all of our sales to anybody who wants to sign up as an affiliate and sell the course on their platforms online. So if you guys have a lot of listeners who are interested in these courses, the next course that's coming up on the same platform is going to be Interpreting Level 1. Then it's going to be the Responsible Vendor course, and then it's going to be Medical Marijuana 101. Then we're going to have courses on just cannabinoids, just terpenes, just flavonoids, just cannabis botany. We're producing a never-ending library of cannabis
Would you call it a
education.
library?
It's for sure a library, but the name is the National Cannabis Industry Textbook Series by the Trichome Institute.
What a name.
What a name. So Adam and I obviously not getting honorary degrees. We have to go to the school to do this.
God damn it.
You got to go to school, Adam.
You know me in schools.
I suspect I do, but you got to go.
There's hope for Nick, right? You know,
What's that?
send the next generation through. Send
Yeah,
Nick
listen,
through, right? You know?
Nick will come next year when he's ready.
Yeah, how young can people be to go
Can
to
be
school? I guess they have to
can
handle
be 5
weed,
years
so
old
they
and
gotta
come. Is
be
that
old.
good? Is that possible? Jump on it. Because Nick's ready.
Yeah, I think so. Why
5's
not?
cool. All right, good.
Listen. I think
you're
education
going
starts
through.
at any
Birth.
age.
It starts with birth.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nick is signing up for his first. That's going to be perfect.
So-
He'll before his real school starts, he'll have already graduated from your school.
So if you want to
That'll be
take
awesome.
these classes in person, we're starting to license these courses to other cannabis schools globally. So Hemp Temps University is currently offering the Cannabis Product and Sales Training Certification and the Responsible Vendor Certification.
Where they at?
Where are they located?
They're here in Colorado. I believe they're in Aurora, Colorado. And they're awesome. They've got a big facility, a big classroom. They're really great guys.
Do you guys share bad weed to look at?
No, we
They
don't
have their
share
own bad
bad
weed to
weed,
look
but we
at?
do share the same curriculum standards of education excellence. They give a workbook with knowledge enforcements to every student, and their teachers have to go through rigorous training programs from us and become Trichome Institute certified educators to be able to teach our work at their schools, which they've done.
But then they go through a similar process, right? They have good, like if they're doing interpreting, I'm saying.
So they're not doing interpreting right now.
Aha, that explains it.
We're the only ones doing interpreting, so they're doing the 2 textbooks that are currently published on the tables.
Okay.
And we're kind of keeping interpreting in-house for now, but it's very possible that we could start licensing level 1 interpreting pretty soon. There's been a few people in Canada who've been really interested in selling level 1 interpreting classes and such.
What up?
Because interpreting classes, I think, are the ones that like,
those are really fun.
and I feel like has the broader, like people in New York want to do interpreting. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
well,
right now.
it's more. Well, the thing about interpreting is it's really applicable to. It doesn't matter who you are.
Right.
If it's about what cannabis is, where it comes from, how it treats you differently, how to interpret terpenes, where you feel them in your nose. It's what all of our tools help you do. Maybe can your camera even see that this like card thing like flips
Oh yeah,
and rotates?
perfectly.
Yeah,
It's like
in and
precision,
out,
microscopic
and it's
shot.
like, yeah.
Who designs all that stuff? Do you have a guy who's like a
That one's pretty
expert
slick.
Have you seen
physicist?
this
That one's
one?
way slick.
Super
No, dude.
slick.
I couldn't
right?
close
Like one of
it.
those-
I tried
one of those
closing
things
it.
when you're
It
in
didn't
school.
close.
Have you
Do
played
it.
with
Give
this
it to Adam.
before?
Give it to Adam. He's gonna be lost.
Oh wait, hold on. Hey, just before you rip this in shreds, just keep going forward. Every page goes forward. Okay.
I see what you mean.
Okay,
It's
so
like
that's
get
cannabis
smart. It's
quality.
like get
when-
smart. It's like get
Tell me when
smart.
you get to the end.
That's bad quality, and then this is the chemistry of the smells when you smoke them, and then you're to the beginning again.
Keep going. Wait till the end.
There's no,
There's no end. There's no end.
It never ends.
And then we've got the interpreting guidebook over here, and
You got a wheel for that one, right?
yeah, where'd you put
No,
the
they're right
wheel?
here. They're right down here.
Oh, there you go.
Dude, it never ends.
That's
bro.
really cool.
We got a weed wheel. I'm gonna spin this, and regardless of the strain,
Get Wheelie Nelson to fucking do it.
Oh, that would be good if you had Wheelie
If you
Nelson.
had Wheelie Nelson on there.
Yeah, you're telling me.
See, it's not you're not treading on anyone's trademark when you make puns.
Yeah,
Yeah,
If
you
you
can say
only knew.
puns. Puns are good.
Except in China.
No, we're definitely not big in China.
No, we're big with the Chinese security services for all our puns.
Are you?
Puns are illegal in China.
So is saying cannabis cup.
No, actually, probably that's legal
Interpreting
in
shit,
China.
though.
In China, I don't think that trademark would carry over.
You know what? We should get the trademark for that in
Chinese cannabis cups?
Yeah. Hey, Allie's been on your show
That's
before.
Yeah,
there's the
Yeah.
You know my girlfriend Allie?
Yes, that's what I was
Hey,
thinking. I
Allie,
was
you're on the
thinking-
Adam Dunn show.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
What
Wow, that's good. Good.
Oh, yeah, she was
sound.
on the
we
show.
should do that more often. Yeah, she was on the show.
She's
Well, I was
the head
thinking.
rep of Mary's Medicinal.
Yeah, a couple
Exactly.
months ago.
Yeah,
I
there's
love
the
her.
sage.
I love her a lot.
off the charts.
Pretty much. I mean, it's
My cameo. Thanks, Dave.
You're welcome. Hey, I'm gonna call you when I get off the show.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, bye.
here's that profile there for you.
Look at that. Look at
Holy
the. Wow,
shit.
you never seen anything like that. He broke the machine. There was smoke coming out of it. A scientist died because a bolt shot through his neck.
So I'll tell you something cool about pining. It is the most insecticidal terpene that the cannabis plant produces.
That's exactly why he doesn't have bugs.
Yeah, and so if you know the product called I should get paid for this shit. Go Gnats.
Yeah.
It's all pine that helps gnats go away. It's just pine juice, and it's really from the pinene that helps that. And so I think that's really cool.
There you go. Off the charts. But what else is going on in this thing? Tell me. Give me more analysis on that. Let's overanalyze this thing for a second.
What's that?
Well, since it's all laid out, it's there.
Overanalysis what? What are you talking about?
That chart there. That
Well, where's the
Terpene chart.
flippy thing? Give him the flippy chart.
connect it to the flippy. Hook it up to the flippy.
Give him the
Got
flippy
blue-
chart.
does
I
that
don't
have-
know what
hook it up.
terpene 1 is.
Does it have Wi-Fi? That wheel yet? Do you have a Wi-Fi wheel?
So let me ask you this: Would you think this was when I say slightly, I mean slightly, but like slightly more indica dominant hybrid, or not so much?
No, this is way more sativa.
This is way more sativa.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, and I can show you a photo of this one. It's classic. It's like
yeah. I'd like to see a photo of it.
It looks literally like old school when you're like the skeletal plant.
Oh, it's like real.
But beautiful, but like
laid
chunky
out.
as fuck. But it's just crazy how it doesn't have any leaves on it at all, hardly.
Whoa! Did you notice that there's a little cartoon of Max in the book? Did you
course.
guys? I know you noticed it, Max. Did you notice that, KTI? Look, it's a little cartoony Max.
He kind of shows up from time to time.
How come you didn't mention him? We've been talking for an hour and 15 minutes, and you haven't even brought him up. Does he have a name?
Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah, that looks great.
Like, you know what I mean? Kind of old
Yeah.
school skeletal.
I don't know what his name is.
People want to know
Yeah,
how
you
much
wanna
this
show the plan?
how
Show the
much
plan?
the education costs.
Maybe it'll.
Which one? Interpening?
The whole layout, the course fees.
The whole course structure?
Yeah, do it.
All
Play
right.
Bursar right now.
All right, so check it out.
No.
The cannabis product and sales training for bud tenders is $249, and just the cannabis products
and that one
course
comes with a Max on the back.
is
Max in the
is
back.
$200.
Max in the front. Max in the
And
back.
I think responsible vendors probably I think it's like $150 if you're by yourself, but if there's more people, the price comes down. Gets down to like $99, $89, stuff
All right,
like
but
that.
that's the boring stuff. What about interpreting?
Interpening level 1. So
There's a Max on the back of all of them?
Max on the back. You gotta get the Max on the shirt so that
Yes.
everyone like on the little on the pocket.
you
That
really
should be
think
the
I
new
could wear a
logo.
cartoon of myself
My brother
on me?
does that. My brother does that. It's cool.
No way. Like, no way.
I do it all the time. I do
I'm
it-
gonna walk around town
Yeah,
ordering
Adam, that's
burgers and
Adam's
sandwiches
thing.
from places. Yeah, it's a cartoon of myself on my
Yeah,
on my
that's
shirt.
literally how Adam lives his life.
That's my whole life.
90% of the
Well,
time.
that's not this moment in time.
Is this something I just need to get over in life and just
Yes.
and do?
You're putting it on your books.
Pretty much just
Here's
You
what
really
else-
think it's okay for me to
I'll-
wear
Max, what
myself
I'll say is
on
this.
Embrace
me?
it.
I'll say
Embrace
that
it.
anytime you're in front of an
Embrace
audience
it,
and you're
Max.
reading one of your books, I want you to know that you're showing
just-
them a cartoon of you while you're reading.
I
right
think
in front
coming
of
out
them
of your
already.
pocket though is the way it's gotta be coming
Yes,
out.
speaking out of your
Yeah,
pocket.
not the whole thing, just coming out of the pocket.
That's
The-
good.
the-
That's really good.
This is I've got a,
Because
Because it is only from the waist up. Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like cut off
exactly.
well,
right there.
I've got a classic one of him looking through the microscope, like with the big eye, like staring at you.
Oh,
There you go. That one coming out of the
He's in
pocket.
there somewhere.
We'll find that little
but-
You
maxi.
can do that in the cufflinks.
We're going to do interpreting live in Denver level 1, which is just the 3-hour lecture, is $125. But and you get all 3 tools included: the weed wheel, the guidebook, and the interpreting loop. But if you want to stay for the hands-on workshop and the ability to test on the live flower to prove that you can see and smell the differences between the variety types and dissect the faulty structures as well, plus the 3 tools, is just $200. And we've had people flown in from Mexico, Canada, Africa, and from almost everywhere in the U.S. So it's been cool.
So I happen to be looking at spider mite poop right now, which is something we brought up earlier but haven't revisited. And
Yeah. How do you like that spider mite poop? Do you see how huge it is for the size of the insect? It's enormous.
It is. Like if your
like a
poop
toad.
was
It's
that
enormous.
big-
If you pooed as big as a spider mite poos, you would poo a quarter the size of yourself.
It's like toads are like that too, though, because I have a toad in my grow room, and I thought I had rats because I was like, "What the fuck is this giant turd?" And it was like, "That's a toad turd." I'm like, "What? They have big turds for little toads."
I mean, I feel like, you can't observe the volume here, but it appears that something like 6 to 8 poops equals an entire spider mite.
Yeah, it's a.
did you ever see the video where there's a spider mite taking a piss? There's that one. It's pretty good.
No.
Yes.
There's a video of that.
Yeah, this one guy with a microscope made it and put it online. It was pretty dope. It was like, it looked just like a dog. It lifted its leg up, and all of a sudden there's all this like, you're like, what? This little dog fucking thing? Little bastard. But then it really grossed you out because you're like, God, they must piss a lot, and I know they poop a lot. And now you start looking around, and you're like, oh.
Well, you know what? The other thing spider mites do a lot that a lot of people don't really realize is they molt.
Jerk off.
They
They
molt
jerk
their
off
exoskeleton.
read porn. They read porn and jerk off and leave all the porn everywhere, like in little trash piles
Have
in
you
the
ever seen
woods.
You ever seen that YouTube of that spider that they gave LSD to?
Yes.
Yeah, look up that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, they gave it all the different drugs. It was killer.
Yeah, and when they give
Caffeine
it
was
crack.
all caffeine. I don't think that was pre-crack.
Oh, they gave
times.
it crack.
Did they?
Oh, they gave it crack.
Oh, they
Yeah,
gave
they did it again.
They
Adam.
gave that
Oh,
bug
they did it
crack.
again.
It's been done again, and there's like videos of
Did they
it.
give it
I know the one you're
Flocka?
thinking
Did they
of.
give it Flocka yet?
Not that recently.
Waka Flocka?
They should give it Flocka, and they should give it the crocodile and see what the fuck shit does now.
What the fuck is the crocodile?
Oh, you don't need to know about this, man.
What is
Crocodile.
the
The
crocodile?
Crocodile. Well, it makes your skin turn into like a crocodile. So that sounds good, right?
Say what?
You want
It's
some?
like-
I
What
got
is
some.
this?
I got some. If you need some.
You don't have some.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You don't have crocodile? I mean,
You don't have.
come on, I'm totally into it. My leg's falling off right now, but it's good. Good fun.
It's big in Russia.
Basically, it rots your skin, and just like where people inject it, it rots their skin right where they inject it, and so people just keep injecting it in until the whole part of their body falls off.
Do you know I'm working on the world's largest, most elaborate drug tattoo?
Does
Oh,
it
you need
involve-
crocodile on there. You need a
Ah.
crocodile foot or something.
All
like
right,
that. Crocodile foot.
I
have heard about it.
I
That's
got
pretty dope.
crocodile for you.
Look at that.
That's good.
It's pretty sick.
Now, when you say the world's,
Luckily, you got that little pasty skin too. It's perfect.
it's good. It's a great. You're a beautiful
Perfect for
canvas.
tattoo. You're a beautiful canvas, sir. Meaning you have
Yucks.
no melanoma in your body at all. Like, a little bit. That's dope. Yeah. I don't want to know about any more. I don't really want to know any more drugs on your body though, because anything above your knee, it's pretty much off limits.
Well, the ayahuasca vine's going to keep, going up there.
Straight up the poop.
Okay,
shit or what?
so they mix codeine and iodine with red phosphorus from matches.
That's crocodile.
That's crocodile?
Well, that's crocodile.
That's your crocodile recipe from the Adam Dunn Show.
That's homemade. It's
you need-
desomorphine is
if you
the
need-
actual what they're trying to make, and it can be made by codeine, iodine, and red phosphorus from strike matches.
I don't know.
I like the strike matches part. Like they couldn't get real phosphorus from some other place. Is it
No,
like so
no,
hard
this
to
is for junkies who need crocodile.
get? Crocodile. Sorry.
Apparently,
It's not very
desomorphine is like mad stronger than heroin.
What?
It's a derivative of morphine with powerful, fast-acting opioid effects.
bad. They should just get that other crap that everyone's doing and dying from.
What's that?
That other crap, phenylene or whatever.
Yeah.
No, that is
That's
so much
500
more
times.
expensive than crocodile.
Yeah, it is. There's no matches in that.
No, crocodile is literally made out of matches, which cost nothing.
Yeah. Some cough syrup.
Codeine, cough syrup, which costs very little. In Russia, I bet nothing. And iodine, which costs nothing.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good
That's
value for
good.
money.
Turn
That's value.
You're making cough syrup and heroin all day.
Yeah, and you're losing body parts, so you're saving money on washing. Pretty much at the end. Less
Saving money.
washing involved. You have one
Sure.
less leg.
It's
Oh!
almost like-
Look at this.
Docillator in the house.
What's up?
Oh,
Do we have ice
we
cream?
have,
Is
we have
there
an-
ice cream?
Is this that mean ice cream's in the house, or what does
Do
that
we have
mean?
ice cream, Dos?
Nothing.
Nothing.
What's up, Dos?
Hey, Dos.
Santa,
doing?
look at
Good
that!
seeing you,
Santa
bud.
came early, guys. Everybody, Santa came early. He's here.
Everybody knows that reindeer reindeer's favorite food is hemp ice cream.
Oh, they do know that.
They do know
Yeah,
that. I know
Santa
that.
Claus doesn't have anything on me. I could beat him arm wrestling any day.
I bet you could. I bet you could. And you could fix buses better than him. I know that.
The best bus fixer.
If your bus is
Doss
broken down,
single-handedly
he'll
saved the
come out-
first
he'll
Adam
come-
Dunn Show invitation.
we didn't make
By
it. We would have not made
fortunate
it,
luck.
right?
Yeah, you wouldn't have made it.
No, we'd still be there.
We were
We'd be
fucked.
trapped
We'd
still
still
on
be
that.
there.
Luckily,
God.
our
I
bus was
just
broken down,
charmed
and this
that
guy
motor
just
into
happened.
starting.
I know you did. And you were pretty happy about that too. You were like, "Damn, I didn't have to do anything. I just had to come
I
over
just
here
stood here and looked
stand
at it.
here and look at it, and boom,
I look
take all the
great.
credit.
Hey,
Take
you
all
run
the
so-
credit.
yeah.
What's going on? You're here for your screens, I assume. He's here to get your screens. Look at him. He's hiding. Vinny's hiding. He knows he's guilty.
Oh, and you've got a freezer here.
Oh, yeah.
Have ice cream
Oh,
there?
yeah. No.
can get
Put it in there. Do
If,
it.
if it's
It's
close
gonna
enough,
get
it
out of
needs
there.
to better get it in there
Ice
because it's empty. It's empty freeze. Big
I've gotta
empty
go to
freeze.
Alamosa. There's a big hemp event happening at Adams State College.
On Saturday, right?
I have a state college. I
Everybody
didn't even know
who's-
that.
Who is going to be there?
Who's who except for me if I'm not there. And Max is not there. He's the biggest
I'm not
who
there.
around. He's the who. He's our guest. That means
The whoest of who's.
he's the who.
There it is. It's coming up.
I'm Mr. Hoo.
Alamosa, which
Yeah,
is your
Alamosa
hunt.
at 10 o'clock at
Adams
Adams State
State.
College. at the
Adams State
studio
College.
there.
Your state college.
I know.
They have-
I'm just shocked. I have a college too. I didn't realize
You didn't?
Yeah.
all this
Yeah,
time.
where they're going to have, what, the keynote speaker there's going to be Adam Dunn, right?
I guess.
And it's
I-
his
it
college.
Sounds like it. If it's my college, I better come up and do something, right? For the kids. Hey, kids! Congratulations on graduating last year.
So, yeah, I got to get ready to be bright and early there. And so we're going to recharge the Cottonwood Hot Springs with lots of hemp ice cream.
Good.
For those that,
Not in the
need
hot
to
springs,
make
though,
the trip
please.
in.
Don't put
Yes.
the ice creams in the hot springs.
Of course.
Don't pollute
Right
the
by
hot
where you
springs.
get your wristband.
Oh, okay, but don't put them in the hot springs. You gotta eat them in your body.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure that the ice cream's in your body in the hot springs, not just directly into the hot
Well,
springs.
congratulations on your new digs.
Thanks.
Thanks, Das.
Hope you have a good radio show.
Well,
nice to
we
visit
we
Ghana.
did until a minute ago. I don't know. Now
Catch
it's
it.
disaster.
Listen,
Now it's a complete disaster.
If this was if this was a segue to us getting stocked with hemp ice cream here
Oh.
in the studio for the show,
Look at him.
then this is an awesome introduction to the
Yeah.
audience. There
Yeah.
you go.
You know what
Yeah,
happens
well,
though?
well,
You know what
people
happens
on
though
the
is when
show.
that's filled up with ice cream is like 2 days later we get a
We
call.
fucking lock
We get a
it.
call. He's like, "Can I borrow that freezer with? I need to go." And then it's gone forever. Right? That's what's gonna happen. I
Well, we
I
got
know
extra-
that. I can feel it
We've got
already.
extra freezers for people now.
He saw that freezer. He was already like
Yeah, he was like,
eyeballing it. Like he
"Ooh,
just
I
figured
could
out the
use
dimensions.
that."
He's like, I could fit that right in the
Yeah,
old
I
ones.
can
at."
fit some buttons in that.
Yeah, we've had our freezer
That
days.
might
We
be
know.
enough for the week.
There's days that he's called me, and at the old Hood Lab,
The
it was
old
like,
good old Hood
I had to call
Lab
Vinny. Then Vinny had to run over, get that thing plugged in.
emergency freezer
Oh
situation.
my God, we've had a few abortions, and we've had a few major like
Oh, we never
fallouts.
talk about those.
Oh, they just gone. They were gone. We gave them to the gods. No, actually, we still selling them. You guys want one? They're really defrosted it 7 years ago. No.
It should be hard by now.
All right. Well, that's good. So Alamosa is the place to be tomorrow at 10 o'clock at
Adams State University.
It's so easy to
See
remember.
how easy it is to remember? Yeah, I was going to say, super easy to remember.
I did not forget. I would if it was like gyms. I would have been like, ooh, Jimmy Joe.
Whose university?
So Max,
What's up?
you didn't show us everything. Look like you're closing up shop. Are you done?
You're
That's
done?
it.
That's it? That's all there is to it?
That's all there is to weed. We
That's
figured it
all
all
there
out.
is to weed.
That's all there is to weed.
That's
See, I
all
don't think
there
I was
is
on
to
the last
weed
show
for
that you
tonight.
were on. Last show you were on, I was out of
But you were
town.
just sitting in. You weren't even interpreting on that show.
No.
No. Now you're
I
interpreting.
was talking
now
about
you're interpreting.
things. Oh.
Interpret him.
You're pre-terpening.
Give him more.
No, he's pre-terpening.
Interpret some bad weed for
It
us.
was pre-terpening. Do you guys know how much bad weed we have? I could have brought the whole fucking suitcase.
No, I'm
with
so
me.
glad you didn't. I'm so glad you didn't. Like, this is
I
spider
could-
mites. To be like, no.
Here's the powdery mildew.
No.
Can you taste spider mites?
No, but they're
Bacon,
good protein.
little bacony, right?
Good protein.
So make edibles out of them.
Huh? Well, they have a little
Yeah.
snap, crackle, pop going on.
Yeah, for sure. Snap, crackle, pop.
Powdery mildew, you can definitely taste. It's terrible.
Tastes like asthma.
Tastes like literally like a little sour, milky kind of weird something, and it's just nasty. It's just like, ugh.
Oh.
It's kind of like fizzy in the back of your, like it's almost fizzy in your mouth. Like when you take a hit, you're like fizzy. Ugh. Gone bad.
What's the grossest tasting herb? What's the worst thing?
Worst
that could
herb you've
happen
ever
to
had in
you?
your life,
Okay, so
Mr. Worst Herb.
So someone dropped off some really bad botrytis cinerea at my office once.
And you were
From a
desperate.
dispensary or a homegrown?
This one was from a home grow, but I do find them in dispensaries. But this bud was still like really wet and fresh and super moldy. And
you were looking at it like, I
gotta taste
I could
this.
smoke
I gotta taste this.
You're like, it's warm. Look, it's warmer than the air.
it kind of smells like a sour hot chocolate.
Oh, the hot
That
chocolate
sounds
part.
good.
Like really sour hot chocolate, like real sour.
Like bad milk.
Bad
milk
made hot chocolate.
It
with bad
almost
milk.
it makes you gag a little, like it's so sour,
Well,
but
that's
it's got
good.
kind of like a chocolate on the.
You're
tail end.
describing a good smell.
No.
smell of good
You're
milk.
No,
describing.
it's like- no,
you're
it's
describing
kinda
when
like-
Nick
it's
puked on my
almost like-
head
yeah,
after
sweet.
drinking chocolate milk.
Yeah,
That was
sweet,
pretty much
Oh,
it.
that
acidic
smell.
I
and
had
soury.
it. No, I
Yeah,
had
you
it
know,
at the concert when I went to see Jane's.
What? You puked on your head after drinking chocolate milk? For
Yeah,
real?
yeah. He drank.
I was
like,
wondering why you didn't talk about that.
He
concert.
drank so much chocolate milk, and then I had him on my shoulders, and then he was like, I guess he was looking like one of these. And, and I was like, what is this on my face? And it was all dripping down. And then I was like, oh, it's like milky and sour, and it's horrible, and it's chocolatey too, though. Ooh. And then like I realized he was completely pale and flopping on
So
my
you
head.
didn't realize he had puked until then.
No. No, it all happened on my head, so I could only.
It's like, what is this weird chocolatey sour stuff?
So I know exactly what you're talking about with your chocolate sour thing.
Well, I forgot this weed that I put in an airtight container for about like 2 weeks. And when
That's like opening the fridge.
When I opened this thing up, it really was a creature, and it was powerful and
So you created a powerful creature, something like Mumra, I imagine.
yeah, it's real bad and
Bad stuff.
yeah. I
Did you
wouldn't
taste
smoke
it?
that. No.
But that was like
So
still
what's the worst thing you
alive. It was-
tasted?
Listen, when you smell this,
tasted
you
it-
almost wanted to shit your pants.
Yeah, but you tasted
it's
it
so
in the
bad.
air, but you didn't taste it like for real.
Right. What's the worst thing you've smoked?
What's the worst thing you actually tried to think it was gonna, like, you thought it was gonna actually be something?
Well, that is like when you see the most gorgeous, most trichomatic, glittery nug you've ever seen.
Is that like Illmatic? Is that like Nas's new album?
No, it's Max's new album.
Max's new album, the Trichomatic.
And when you fucking smoke that and it's completely unflushed and it's just like hot spider webs, like, burning through your lungs, that shit sucks. Or dabs
does,
that
but-
are like really, really dirty where they're just full of gases and they're
Dabs are
unpurged
I feel like dabs, you
whatsoever.
can pretty much see that from across the room.
Yeah,
Like
you
you're like,
can
I'm
smell
not
it across the
smoking
room.
that.
Yeah.
Weed, you sometimes get bummed out. What is interesting to me the most is when you smoke something that tastes terrible, looks terrible, but then is like a head ringer. You know what I mean? Because then you're
Gets
like,
you really high.
fuck, like that actually. Cause that's the stuff I like. I don't love it, but I like when it happens because I like to be like told, not think it's always going to taste good. When tastes good, weed's going to actually taste good and get you high. You're asking a lot. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times the weed that tastes good just tastes good, and there's a lot of times people interpret it as high because they're all happy, they're not disappointed.
How familiar are you with the weed from Oregon?
Smoked it all.
We smoked it all there when we did a show. I did the Dope Cup last time and sort of have an idea. And
Yeah, where's all your dope cup weed? I thought you were bringing that for us to smoke.
who his or ours?
His.
I know. What's up with that? They had plenty of good weed. Did you bring
I'm
any
just saying,
back, or
like,
did you get all scared?
No, dude, their fucking weed was unbelievable.
Of
Yeah,
course.
that's what I heard. So
It
where
really
is it?
was.
Yeah, they have the outdoor. I mean, they have way better.
You want to know what? I had a really good dinner the other night too.
Oh,
Why
yeah?
you keep-
Don't tell me what it was. I don't even care.
Exactly.
Because if I was
They also have this year. They're gonna. I mean, I'm surprised because they had like 8 inches of rain in the first week of October. That was just like all over the state. That was just nuts, and people had like a bunch of farms got wiped out. Like 60% turned into botrytis, and it was just these big fucking gray sticks in the fucking field. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
friends of mine were like, "Dude, I'm looking at like 600 fucking." Plants that are all just completely molded out, and you're just looking like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this? You know what I mean? It's just like plow it in or what,
Yeah. Well, I want to get those spores outside of the grow area as much as possible. Maybe powder the area with some.
And they were all in like 200-gallon smart pots too. So imagine 600 plants in 200-gallon smart pots, all moldy. You're like, now there's a site. There's something for your class. There's a photo. Here's what you don't want to do.
Yeah.
So what's the best? Well, we talked about the worst, and that's very fun and awesome. But what's the best?
I really like the stuff I grow.
Oh, come the fuck
God.
on! That was so predictable.
Come on. That's somebody who blew your mind.
You know what I'll tell you? Is
Or
the,
place
I'll
that
tell you,
blew
know,
it, or
you know
whatever.
what the coolest thing is that I've ever
Great
smoked?
best appellation.
The coolest thing I've ever smoked was I did this thing where
Nutmeg? You ever smoked nutmeg?
no, I tried. I invented this thing, right, that I called Beetlejuice. And
What do you call it?
Beetle
Say it again.
juice.
And what do you
One more
say
time. One more time.
Beetlejuice.
Don't say anything.
Ah, here he comes. There he is, Timmy. Oh, Tim, you are Beetlejuice. now.
Holy
Look
shit,
You look just like him.
Oh.
Oh, no, it's just Tim. Sorry.
So,
Somehow I thought you were him.
so the idea of this is instead of pressing rosin from plants that are cured and dead and long gone, is pressing a cannabis plant that's actually still living in the ground. And I don't mean like clipping it and then running in the house and pressing
Still
it.
actually
I mean,
in a plant. In a
you can
pot.
see one of the videos on my website, Trichome Institute, or on our YouTube, or maybe if you Google Beetlejuice, like cannabis or whatever. But like you can actually see me bending a cannabis branch that's still sticking in the ground into the paper, into the rosin press, and we literally press it outside a bunch of different branches and collect living rosin that we dab right then and there. And so that's by far the best.
It's Adam's
coolest-
fucking. It's your dream. That's for the bar in Spain. That's what you want to do.
That's all you're going to do.
Tell him. Tell him.
Can't tell my dreams.
Yes, he's
No,
already told
he-
you he's
look
going to
at-
do it before you. Tell
He's
him.
a dream cat. I can see him as a dream
He's a
stealer.
dream
Oh, I already stole the dream. I already see it. Yeah.
He's a dream stealer.
All of the plants are in their bucket, and you walk them over to the bench, and you bend the branch right in front of the person. You press it right in front of the person, and right there at the bar, they take a dab from the plant that's still living, brought over to them.
I was imagine the screaming going on there. That plant is tortured, dude. You're
Yeah, but that's exactly what you wanted to do. Good thing you said it on the show first. Adam Dunn
no, I
did it
didn't want to
first.
do that. I wasn't really down with squeezing plants
That's
when they're
what you
still in
wanted
the
to do at the bar.
No, I said I
Yes.
wanted to do fresh dabs. I wanted to have.
In Spain.
I said in Spain it would be good because they're real service oriented. So if they had like the way they serve you food there, they give you like 15 forks. You're like, oh my god! I've had 15 forks. I haven't even used one of them. They're like the guy in the back. I feel so sorry for him because every time they come out, they take all the silverware, they put it away, they put new silverware down. You're like, all right, guys, relax. It's okay. I could deal with just one fork, one knife. I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, but if they did that with weed, you'd love it, right? Clean the bong, fucking come out, replace your piece, put on this, come back, every single hit fresh. You'd be like, these guys are off the fucking chart. So that's what I was saying. Nothing
That's
about
what you're
live
saying.
plants. I didn't say squeezing
I
plants,
thought you
killing
wanted
them.
to squish live plants.
He's torturing. He's a torturer. Look at him. He's got dead plants upstairs, and he's torturing them. He's squeezing them alive.
Like
You
the
really
keeps
should
the
see
bad
the-
weed
you really-
around his victim.
No,
He's
you
got
had-
all these bad weed around, so when they come in, they're like, "Oh my god, this is what's gonna happen to me. I'm gonna turn bad. I'm gonna be all beat up." Ugh.
You know what?
He's the plant whisperer and torturer. They like secret double life. He lives.
Exactly.
I swear,
Max Montrose, plant torturer.
I could run upstairs right now and bring you 3 ganjas that have been tortured to shit. I literally just rip them to shreds, and they're
Oh my
the
god,
most
he looks more like a serial
disgusting
killer every
things
minute that I
you've
talk to
ever
him.
seen.
He's a plant
Go
serial
on.
killer.
Have you ever
Look how much happier he gets.
I
from
know.
it. Go on.
Have you ever seen the Instagram account Worthless Genetics?
Yes.
I love that, and I'm a
Sad.
huge contributor because the thing is you don't know what good cannabis
I've
is
actually never contributed to that.
unless
Actually,
you
it's
know
kinda
what bad cannabis is. And I think it's really funny when you see people's fucked up grows, and then like I don't know, from time to time, it's funny, but sometimes it's not funny. Like when it's your entire harvest. But that guy's feed cracks me up. So that's all. And it cracks me up that I make plants disgusting on purpose because I'm the only person I know who does that.
That is
What?
why you're like serial killer. Serial killer.
Very serious. Very what's that
Super
stupid
creepy.
show that he was on?
Which one? Dexter.
Yeah, there you go. He's
That's
like
not very Dexter.
no. Well, he's
Like
like
Ganja
kind of
Dexter.
Dexter character.
He's
like
Dexter.
Dexter character.
He's sure he's Dexter.
Like in that little office upstairs, we don't know what goes on back there.
No idea. Well, there's
He's
no way
got
we
plants
couldn't.
ripped in half, just shredded. Like
I really do.
He's like,
I do.
still alive.
Terps all over
It's
terp
terps
juice.
on just terp juice squirting
It's still
everywhere.
alive. Yeah, it's still alive.
It's still alive, and I'm squirting, dissecting the
You guys have
tips.
seen those results of when they hook up those lie detectors to a cannabis plant, right?
Well, to any plant. But
A lie
yeah.
Right.
detector? Is it actually a lie detector?
What-
or-
Yes,
Well, yeah.
actual lie detector.
And they're like, "What's
They
your
lie?
name?" They're like,
What's that?
They lie?
They don't.
No,
plants lie?
what they do is they express consciousness, and so if you hook up a cannabis plant to one of these
Any plant.
lie detectors, right? But cannabis is like super conscious.
That
They
sounds
go off the
scientific.
charts.
That's why he likes to kill it all the time and torture him. We
really
wouldn't torture
are.
things that aren't
They are.
conscious.
Yeah, exactly. You see
Yeah, I'm
that?
going with it. I believe
He's like,
it.
they're highly
But
conscious.
the thing is
they scream.
if the cannabis plant is in the room by itself, and then a human being walks into the room, the plant notices that someone has gotten in its presence, and, so it
knows if
starts
it's
like
someone
flutter
it
on the
likes
chart.
or doesn't like.
Correct.
too.
So if, like,
when
a- It
Max
blushes.
walks in
Yeah,
the
when a
room,
when a grower walks
he
in the
walked
room who's
in.
been taking care of it, the thing like kind of goes off the charts. It's like, oh my god, the guy who's been feeding me and taking care of me, he's here.
Yeah, it's blushing.
They recognize. Oh, it's a conscious recognition.
And then
so
you're
that
like,
when
wait a minute.
When
nervous.
Adam walks in the room, they're happy,
Yeah.
and then when Max walks in the room,
They're sad.
they're
oh,
really
no.
scared.
Oh,
They're
he's gonna
like, oh,
Look how
shit.
happy he
That
is
judgy
about this.
bastard.
He's gonna pluck me out. I heard the last guy. He's like,
He
I
just
heard the
judges
last
me.
plan. He cut him in half.
so
and
superficial.
Put iodine all inside of him to look and see. Watch the action. Yeah.
Well, speaking of ganja, I'm gonna go harvest some. Thanks for letting me be on your show.
Oh yeah. Hopefully you got there before the thieves.
Yeah.
Because it's
Ganja
that time.
thieves. Yeah, he's
They,
gonna.
they've been watching
call
the
us
show.
if
They're
we
like,
get
"Oh,
there.
he's gonna go harvest. Let's get over there
Yeah.
quick before he actually gets off the show." Live.
Well, hey,
Thanks
you
for
guys
being on the show.
rock, man.
You
Thanks
rock
so
too, buddy.
much.
We
I
will-
always love being on the show.
We love having you. We were gonna come do the class.
Hey, come do the class.
We're gonna
and,
heckle you from the back.
No,
I will.
Stop. You will.
Yeah.
I
Of
will.
course
He
I
will.
will.
That's what he
my
does in
job,
school.
You know what I mean? Come
But anytime you want me to bring down some disgusting weed or some torture
on. As
plants,
long
you
as it's
just
in a
call
box, put it in a
I
clear
want.
box.
I want live rosin.
Can we do a tortured plant
Wait.
show?
me.
Here
You want
one
some
time?
Beetlejuice?
Beetlejuice.
You want to come over right now? Come over.
No, I have to do the show.
No, just come over. Fuck the show. Just come over.
Do you know how mad he gets when I leave early? He gets
No,
so
he
mad.
can't
Who
leave.
cares?
He already left. You know
Do
how
the
much
rest of
longer
the
did I go
show.
last time? Hey, what did I do last time?
Do the rest of the show from
3 extra hours, didn't I?
I know, and
Oh,
then
yeah,
it didn't
that's
get
pretty-
posted.
that's
And
a
it didn't
while.
get posted. Are you
It's
fucking
posted
kidding me?
now. It's
Now
posted
it's
now.
all 3
It's all
hours.
good.
Oh,
It's all
here I am
sus.
putting my heart and soul
Okay,
and
what
everything.
time is it?
Hey,
You guys are killing
Oh,
it.
it's
We got
fine.
19
I,
minutes
yeah,
left. Oh, you want to cut early? What do you say?
no, you guys have fun. I might.
Well, you can't cut early either. You guys all stay.
Yeah, you have to work
It's
here.
all Tim,
you have
otherwise, Tim's going to get in your place, and he's never going to want to leave. And
Yes,
That's
that is
perfect.
we
true.
don't want that.
No, this will
Well,
drift into late night.
Still
You know,
drifting?
late night.
You're gonna go out drifting? Is that
so
what you
high.
said?
No.
Mitch, do you have a pen on you?
You're busy drifting.
Someone will give me
I
a pen
do.
and I will sign this.
19 minutes, dude. You can handle it. No problem. You both can handle
Do
it.
the shout outs. I have a pen in my backpack, which is in the.
Okay, let's
Oh, it's
start
right here.
off.
I got a
I've
pen.
been waiting for
Here's
this
one
book
from-
for a long time, man.
Do the shout outs.
Let's get on to the shout-outs.
So,
So, let's hit it up.
shout goes out to Way to Grow.
Right away. Right away.
Right, a Way to Grow.
To
Right away to grow.
Right away to grow. 7 locations all over Colorado. Tim Martin could tell us all, but he's way too excited to get on the mic, so we probably won't let him do that.
Hit up the springs though if you're in southern Colorado.
If you're there, actually, well, now he's done with his harvest. I guess our buddy will be back in the shop, Mr. IROC. So if you're at the Colorado Springs shop, ask for him because he loves to take care of Adam Dunn Show crew. That's for sure. Also, waytogrow.net if you want to check out the 30% microbe sale that's going on, and to make sure it's available in your local one, which I think it is because it should be at every single one. Time to get all your microbes in check. You got all the different major companies there. Great White,
Yeah, RV Azos, Micah.
the Azos, Mycos, Orca, Organism from our buddies over there at Roots Organics. And that sale doesn't start till the 9th, so hold your horses. Don't drive down right now. You'll be just sitting in the parking lot waiting for a long time with the engine running. They'll be like, this guy's been here for 5 days. It's fucking weird, dude. They're here. They're ready. It's
You can get the candy whenever.
microbes. So, but that would be guys who are driving. I would assume that would be guys coming down from the mountains thinking they couldn't get it, but they can just go to Silverthorne and pick it up there because it's way closer.
No.
Also, our buddies, don't forget, grab your candy on the way out. I'm sure they're loaded
Post-Halloween
up from their
sugar.
post-Halloween bullshit that they've got. But if you want real deal, adult edibles that are not even candy, they're beyond candy.
Adult edibles sounds like something you get at like an adult store. Which
Oh yeah,
is not,
latex. They're
Yeah.
covered in latex. Adult edibles covered in latex. No, they're
Childproof
not.
latex.
Childproof latex with zippers. No, they don't do that. But they do. What they do is fucking awesome candy. Awesome chocolate. Awesome edibles. Yeah.
Gum.
Fuck.
Ease.
Don't even know what to say anymore. Pens. They make the pen. The pen of all pens. And they made the little baby gummies now, so you don't have to just gargle down. Some
We're not
giant
supposed
candy.
to say that they appeal to kids, and you just called those baby gummies.
Baby gummy gummy gum gum. Baby gum gums. Baby gum gums.
Especially for the babies.
Especially for your baby mouth. The baby gummies. Little mouth.
Aren't gummies illegal now, or what happened with that?
No,
baby
They just can't be
gummies
like
can't look like a bear.
shapes or sizes.
Shapes or
They
sizes?
gotta. Well, they
No
just can't-
shapes.
Do you have any shapes or sizes? So how is that? What gummy can you make that's not in a shape?
Well, that's a
all
good
in the
call.
fourth and
It's
Without
got to
a
be
size?
abstract, right? You know,
No shapes.
Yeah, good call.
No sizes.
But
Just
that's
a-
a square. That's a shape.
No, I know.
And a
It's
size.
a size.
And it's a
Yeah.
size. And it's a
fucked.
color.
You're fucked. You're like
Yeah,
totally.
and it's a flavor too.
Does it have to have the THC symbol printed in the gummy? Like,
Every single molecule.
in the
Oh, man.
nubula,
Talk-
It's in
talk
every
to
molecule.
in
Incredibles
the
on that
nipple
one.
of the gummy.
Every molecule.
Every molecule.
Yeah, every
Every
molecule
dust-
must be hand stamped.
Dust sugar.
Hand stamped by the artesian chocolatiers. They must hand stamp every molecule with a get down on it fucking stamp, which basically the problem with the stamps is it just makes me go like, isn't that the one the kids would want to have then? They'd be like, yeah, give me that one with that warning symbol on it. Incredibles.net, check them out. And Build a Soil. Look at that recipe just popping up right there. Bam! You need all that shit. If you need that stuff, then you need to contact Jeremy over at buildasoil.com. He will hook you up.
Thank you, brother.
Doesn't matter how big or how small. Obviously, he wants some large farms, but then again, I'm sure when he hears those 30,000s and 50,000s like we know he gets, he must go, oh, Jesus Christ, that's like 15 tractor-trailer trucks. But if you have that, he'll do it. I mean, he can hook that up. We know that for a fact. And there's all the products that we have. We'd slide some products up there. You know, he's got a Cladamus coot compost. He's got killer worm castings and beds and things you can do it yourself.
Do you know how scary it is to keep killer worms in beds
Killer worms.
and then collect their castings? It's really scary, but Jeremy does it for you.
Oh man, when they're so especially around Halloween, they get super killer
worms.
Super killer worms.
Are they called killer worms? Is that the
Oh,
type
dude, you
of
don't
worm?
know? Yeah, you get your hand in there, you're done, dude. It'll suck you right in.
They just eat it.
Yeah, cousin of the Nightcrawler.
It will suck your ass right into that bin. Gone.
If you run out of crocodile, you can just go to the killer worm bin.
Killer worm burn is actually just the same effect. You lose a limb or two, but it's good. Good fun.
Or you can just use the worm castings.
What, they have clothing? What the hell's going on here?
Yep, buildaclothing.com.
They're coming into my turf now?
It's all hemp.
No, yeah,
No.
well, you got to remember the best
It
is.
better
you know,
not be.
Yes, they
What's
said that.
happening?
They're not allowed to have hemp
Oh
clothes.
yeah,
now.
where's what's happening? Show them that. Yeah,
oh,
what's
that's
happening?
killer. I like that.
Yep, all
I'm
hemp.
the best.
That is not hemp.
It's handmade
Organic
Hey, I
stuff.
like that shirt.
I know. Look at you, Mr. Sappinen.
I like to be sapping.
It is a good shirt. Also, you can give them a heads up on their website or call them at, what is it, 1-855-877-SOIL?
Yeah.
Is it soil?
7645.
Soil?
Soil.
Soil.
Searle.
Surl. Get all surly. We don't have the kid here. No surliness.
Searle. Buildasearle.
That's the kid's new site he started. Okay. And moving on up to the Growstone world. Ooh, yeah, I'm ready to
Making
roll
some
now.
Growstones.
Look at you guys all plasticed out, making nothing. Well, you guys are
Making
making
what? You're just
hoodlums.
making garbage.
You're making
You're making
hoodlums.
hoodlums.
You guys are making hoodlums over there.